It's time for Twig. Jeff Jarvis is here. Stacey Higginbotham, Aunt Pruitt. Coming up, should Facebook ban political ads? Should you ban TikTok? A big Twitter hack. And why am I wearing this weird mask? It's all coming up next on Twig. This Week in Google is brought to you from LastPass Studios. Stay in control when it comes to your company's access points and authentication. LastPass makes security simple for your remote workforce. Check it out at lastpass.com/twit to learn more.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Twig. This Week in Google, episode 568, recorded Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. Double your Bitcoin. This episode of This Week in Google is brought to you by CacheFly. Give your users the seamless online experience they want. Power your site or app with CacheFly CDN and be 30% faster than the competition. Learn more at twit.cachefly.com. It's time for Twig, This Week in Google, the show where we cover Google and everything else on our minds today. The Googleverse, the Twitterverse, the Facebookverse. Aunt Pruitt's back in the house. Aunt, it's great to see you.
Hey there.
Star of hands-on photography and hands-on wellness, and one of our favorite guys around the place.
What a handsome picture.
I know.
Look at that camera and the light. You're so
it looks great.
No more S-Log.
I spent a lot of time
no
trying
more
to set
S-Log from yes, Skype is finally behaving itself. That's good. Yeah, it looks good. Man, that's you're like a celeb.
Yeah, you could be on NBC now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry
better
for
than
making
most.
her uncomfortable, Aunt. I'm just like, dang.
Better than most.
Yeah, man. I mean, I wouldn't look so good with a picture so sharp, but boy, what a nice,
some of us would prefer having
handsome man and
I'm
handsome
blurry.
softer
I
shot.
spent a lot of time trying to set all of this stuff up in
He's
here.
a trained
It's
professional.
been weeks.
He's a trained professional.
Will you share all of that with us, or you want to be the best looking person on the network?
Yes.
I will gladly share it as part of my pick of the week. How about that?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Coming up.
We'll stick
That's
around
the
for that.
generous Mr. Ant. Yes.
Yeah. Also with us from her brand new house, now with bookshelves, Stacey Higginbotham of Stacey on IoT. Poor Stacey.
Let's see what she has on them. Oh, no, it's too fuzzy. I want to see what she has on them.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you could just guess.
I can tell you that these back here in the back are the Sandman comics.
Oh.
John Updike got some Don Quixote.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, this is my, and then How to Not Die in the Woods.
That's a good one. I have a book called Just How to Not Die.
Oh,
In
that's
the
good.
woods or anywhere.
The woods are right by me, so I felt like I needed
You
that.
should probably have that. Yeah, How to Stay Alive in the Woods.
Oh, yeah, that is actually, I think, what it's called. Yeah.
Stacey Higginbotham is from StaceyOnIoT.com, where she covers the Internet of Things. She also has a great free newsletter there and does events, not just in the Internet of Things, but on machine learning and other things. Do you have one coming up?
I do. I have one, not this coming Thursday, or Tuesday, but next Tuesday, the 20. Oh, gosh, I think it's the 28th.
July 1st, I think, or 28th?
It is the 28th, yes.
28th.
Nice. Internet of Things World?
No, don't go there. We're fixing that.
It's broken.
If you go to staceyoniot.com/connected, everything is connected. And it's for
Everything
product
is awesome.
managers and people who are trying to build connected devices.
Nice.
To talk about what you need to do.
Oh, this will be fun.
Ooh.
And you've got participants from Google, Intel, and Honeywell. Wow, that's great.
And June, your oven maker. I've got, let's see. Folks from Allegion, and I can't remember.
This is going to be big.
It's going to be fun.
Now, do you charge for these?
This one is free. We have sponsors. I should thank my sponsors, but
yes,
they're my usual sponsors. They're right there.
Works with by Silicon Labs, Very, and Ayla Networks.
Yeah, so this is I'm really excited about this event. This is I'm just really excited. This is
kind of a new business for you. This is great.
Yes, it's great.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. Very nice. So you got two round tables.
Yeah, those are going to be crazy because with Hopin, you could have 10 people, quote unquote, on stage.
Oh.
And so I'm going to have like 5 leaders, and then I'm going to have people I'll invite you up if you have questions, and you can share your stories and talk to people. So I'm hoping people actually really have good conversations.
Nice.
We'll see.
That should be really fun.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
Do your thing.
You don't want to talk about it. She says
No,
after the 10-minute plug is over. But it's not about me.
But enough about me.
Seriously.
I'm going to make it about me in a few minutes.
It is about him because guess what?
I'm going to make it about me.
Happy birthday to Jeff Jarvis. Wait a minute.
Woohoo.
Wait a minute. We sent Jeff a little birthday gift. Actually, Karsten gets credit for this. And poor Jeff got it yesterday and has not been able to eat it. Pull down the lower third so we can see it. Oh, my God. It's a giant taco cake.
Taco cake.
It's bigger than I thought.
It was a coronavirus
It's
cake.
huge.
Oh, it's not a please, hush your mouth. Although they do use the same mold.
I can't believe that Karsten managed to find a taco cake, and from the best bakery in the region.
Yeah.
Swiss Chalet.
Yeah.
Man.
Morristown.
Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Now, what
So
kind of
awesome.
cake is in there? Do we know?
Looks like chocolate. We're gonna slice it
I
right now.
sincerely
Wouldn't it be
hope
funny
it's
if
not
it
taco
looks like
flavored.
a cake, but it's actually a taco? Wouldn't that be a nice
Twist.
All right, so I'm gonna slice off a little bit of it here.
Slice off a piece of that coronavirus cake. Oh, man. Happy birthday, Jeff. Are you doing anything to celebrate besides this?
No, I'm just trying to avoid it and not be older.
I know. You know, when you get past the big 6-0.
That look good.
Oh, my God. It's 6
chocolate
layers.
fudge.
5 layers with.
Yeah.
Whew. Oh, you
So
can
thank
eat
you,
that.
Twitters.
You're
Thank
very
you,
welcome.
Twit
Happy
people.
birthday,
Let me
Jeff.
have it. Let me have a little bite now.
Happy birthday. Karsten says that's the smallest one they have.
Ooh, damn, it's good. Oh,
That's awesome.
oh, that's good.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
Nice. Happy birthday. That's really
Thank you. I'm gonna have another bite. I was gonna have just one bite, but I'm gonna have another bite.
good. Good. Pretty soon he's going to have taco cake immunity. It's great.
Cheers to you,
He'll have
Mr.
the
Jarvis.
antibodies. Okay, now I'm feeling bad. Now I'm jealous.
That's how you do it. Heck, I had pie.
You had pie.
That's right.
We used to, I mean, this was I think a lot of businesses, it's a tradition that people probably miss now that they're working from home, where you have the birthday cake and everybody gets around, stands around and eats it and sings. And
Damn, that's good. Karsten, good work. Good work. By the way, Karsten has provided my lunch every day now. My
Wow.
Taco Bell inspired burritos, since Karsten got me the beans and the sauce and everything. The burrito didn't work so well. But quesadilla,
oh, yeah, good for quesadilla.
just some
nice.
beans, some cheese.
Yeah.
I'm a little guac, little hot sauce from Taco Bell. I'm very happy now.
Folks, I
Very
hope you're
happy.
not listening
It's
to this
taken
show
away my craving.
before dinner or before lunch
I'm not gonna have another bite.
Or
of
just
that cake.
me.
or in
who's
the
like,
middle of the night.
Yeah. Damn, that's good. Woo.
I guarantee you at least half our audience has gotten out of bed and they're patting their way down to the kitchen for a bowl of Fruit Loops.
ugh.
Shredded
Loops.
wheat.
What would you prefer us have?
No, I'm just like Fruit Loops. I mean, when there's Honey Smacks or something else
Captain
out
Crunch or
there. Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch would be good.
She's got taste, is what she's saying.
Ooh.
Although
Ooh, that was
Captain Crunch always like rips up the inside of your mouth. That's always, and you're like, Captain.
All right, so I got a technology problem I need help with. I'm taking over the show here.
Please do.
Right?
Yeah.
This isn't the show for that.
Oh,
Nice try, Ant. Maybe Ant could be our enforcer.
it could be.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, Jeff, what's your question?
GA.
My G Home thing has gone on to pure Disney movies, and it won't stop.
You mean it's just showing Disney movies all the time now?
All it's been doing has been showing Disney movies. That's it.
Oh, it's a
And so
Disney
watch this. I'm
takeover.
sorry, I'm going to say it. Okay, Google, stop.
Huh.
Sorry, this isn't supported. And then it just keeps going.
Okay, pull down from the top. Slide down.
Looks
Slide
like
your finger
YouTube.
down from the top.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can do there?
It says routines, media, broadcast, view rooms.
Oh, you're in some sort of.
I'm in some hell.
Oh my God! Well, you know, I
Okay,
kind
Okay,
pull up
Google.
from the bottom.
Stop.
swipe
Pull
up
up
from the bottom. Yeah, from the bottom.
And then change it to photo frame.
Yeah, there you go.
This is so funny.
It's like an endless promo for the Disney
won't
Channel.
end.
Swipe up from the bottom.
Man.
Swipe up from the bottom, Jeff.
Okay, now choose
now-
something else.
Settings.
Got
Choose settings.
I got an exclamation point. I've got a plus and an arrow with two little ears on it. I don't know what that is. I got a minus. I got a mute, and I got a
Hit
light
settings.
thing.
Hit settings.
Is there no Disney setting? About
Just go
device,
to the little
photo
gear.
frame, network,
Photo
send
frame.
feed.
Do photo frame.
No, because it's not a photo frame. Why do I do that?
No, because you want it to be a photo frame, or maybe you
You're
don't.
going to turn it into a photo frame.
Actually,
We're not solving your problem. We're just covering it up.
What did it used to do?
Photo
There you go.
The why do I not have? No, I don't want a slideshow of my memories.
Oh, you
It's
don't?
either
Okay,
that
we'll
or
cancel that.
Disney.
Who does? Okay, now maybe it'll go
How
back.
Okay, now swipe from the speaker side over.
We've tried every edge. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
It's done.
No,
Still there.
now it's done. Okay, don't hit that button again. You just were playing YouTube the whole time.
Yeah,
Just stop. Now you're
It's
done. And if
done.
you
Now it's
slide
what
over
it wa-
again, you can turn it straight to the clock.
there you go. Look at that.
No,
there
slide
we
over the same way
one,
you did.
one
from
more
the
slide
speaker
will
to
even
over.
be just a plain old clock.
That's what I
There
want.
you
Just
go.
a plain clock.
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
dim.
Well,
Okay.
Why is it dim?
Jeff,
This
Jeff,
was
okay,
gold.
you go into settings.
I need some more cake.
I feel like
need more cake.
I feel like your birthday really transformed you into a different kind of person. Jeff.
crotchety old man.
I feel like all our shows will end up being this way. 10, 15 years from now, the whole show will be, what? Did you try?
What?
Hit the start menu. Unplug it.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's you funny. Yeah, funny. It's my future flashing before my eyes.
It never.
It's a ready audience. That's what that means. Think about who will listen now. Leo, you can have.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
twig number 2,576.
We've been doing this for 100 years.
Google
The
actually
tech
went
guy
out of
needs the
business
tech guy.
5 years ago, but we're still here.
We still call it This Week in Google. You may remember Google.
Good stuff.
So,
Well, thank you for that bit of technology help. It was
actually,
hell.
I was glad you did that because I don't have anything to talk about today, really. I don't see.
I got one.
Wait,
I got
I
a
have
Google
something to
thing.
talk
I got a
about.
Google
All right,
Oh,
so
Stacey,
start with
go for it.
Stacey, and then we'll rotate through, and you guys could pick the stories. We have a list of stories. It's just none of them are inspiring.
That's not true. That I'm just going to disagree with you. So Fast Company did a story. I don't think it's on here about Google's ATAP and Dan Kaufman, who is the
I saw that. Yeah, that's their advanced technology group, right?
project something group.
Yeah.
But inside that, and this was a epic story, like 2,000 or 3,000 words even.
This is our friend Harry McCracken who wrote this.
Yes.
Yes.
Which he buried the lead. Damn it.
Harry.
They're looking for, or they're building a house mouse. That's what it's called. It's
A
a remote
house-
control that you can use to point at things to turn them on, or in a kind of super fun things, it uses Google Lens to understand like the picture on a CD, which granted no one has those, but you hold it down. It's like,
like the Q
that's
Cat.
this CD. And then you point it to your
They've
speaker
invented the Q Cat. Oh, but that's good.
and then it plays.
You say, throw
and
it
then-
over there.
Yeah, and you can use this. So it's basically a way to add a little bit more context to what you're trying to control without you having to be like in my house right now, because I haven't optimized things yet. It's still like, hey, G, turn on the blue shade chrome lamp. And, that's just stupid. But I could just point at it and click, or just say, turn on lamp. And this is where I think Apple's going actually with some of the stuff they're doing with ultra wideband and fine-tune stuff in their phone, and what Google's also trying to do with Project Soli. So I just thought this was really neat. One, because smart home, but two, who doesn't like reading about ATAP?
Now, with something like this, you're carrying around an extra dongle, or you just carrying around your phone? I didn't quite.
You would have, no, this is a dedicated device the idea is they wanted to create like how the mouse opened up the user interface for computers for so many people, thanks to the mouse and GUIs. They're hoping to do this with like assistance and control of all the other computers around us.
Honestly, with Soli, you wouldn't need a device if you had a Soli sensor or a series of sensors watching your movements. Why is this guy hidden?
Isn't Soli using like IR?
Soli is what's in the front of it's the face recognition in the front of the Pixel, but it's also the thing that does the gestures. Remember those gestures? Is it more like
it's using
LiDAR?
radar.
It's radar.
Oh, it's LiDAR. Okay.
No, I think it's radar.
Is it radar?
Oh, radar?
It's bouncing.
Okay.
Well, similar technologies, bouncing something
Yes.
off of something to see where it is in space. So they've got the Soli chip down pretty small, which means it's also probably fairly cheap to make. So I would bet they wouldn't. I mean, who needs one more thing to lose?
I don't know. I mean,
my remote control table is pretty full right now.
I remember when I got back from Harry Potter World and I wanted to use my Harry Potter wand, which, by the way, is behind me.
Yeah, but you can't do anything with it. It's so annoying.
I know. So I wanted to have like the ability to point at things and say, Wingardium Leviosa, my blinds are gone.
Yeah, it's somewhat cool at the amusement park because they have special areas so you can go, Exia or whatever, and then the window shade will go up and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun in the park, but you get home and then it doesn't do it.
I think Stacey's home is like a park.
It's
like an amusement park.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great, actually, thank you for mentioning this because I wanted to give Harry credit. Harry's been on our shows many times, and he's a really great writer and obviously got an invitation to write about ATAP. And it's a great story with all sorts of interesting technologies. Is that mouse for your house? That's the one you're most excited about, Stacey?
I mean, it's right in my wheelhouse. So yes.
By the way, that device would use Google Lens as well to do the recognition. So it's a lot of technologies Google has kind of rolled into one. It's interesting. Yeah.
Mrs. Stacey.
They got to do something with it.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the sad thing. Remember, that's the story of Xerox PARC. They invented the future and then didn't know what to do with it. That's sometimes the case with these R&D things. So, go ahead, Ann. You had a question for Stacey.
Yeah, I was going to ask, would she be against using an existing device, using your phone or using your mini tablet in this scenario?
So I never have my phone on me.
But you'll have your house mouse on you?
That's weird.
If I have
that's what I was getting at.
So, like, ideally, I would have the only thing I have on me is a Fitbit or a wearable. Like, so if they could put things in the wearables, sure. But otherwise, just having something. That's why my smart house actually has buttons everywhere.
Right.
Like there's little.
Okay.
We know how to use buttons.
Well, it makes it more accessible. Like some people don't have a phone.
Right.
Or if people come into your house and they want to control things, but
That's why it should be your phone. I don't want people coming in my house controlling my things. It should know who I am. But Ann has a point. Especially, the new iPhone has the UWB ultra wideband chip in it, the U1 chip in it. And I imagine all phones will at some point have chips that are directional that do exactly that kind of thing. But yeah, it could also be a device.
I said that, right?
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you're saying it's a separate device. The phone could also do that, right?
Yes, but this is also an ATAP project, so they could integrate it into a phone one day. I mean, this is not like
they're thinking of all different things. I would hope. We kind of talked about this on Sunday. You were there this week in tech. I would hope. I asked the question, and actually we got a great kind of synthesis from Phil Libben about it. I asked the question, are companies coming up with AR glasses because this is what consumers want or because they're desperate to find the next thing and they're just throwing spaghetti at the wall? And I wonder, is ATAP...
What do you vote about that question?
I think it's because they're throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Spaghetti, yeah. I vote spaghetti, too.
Yeah.
I vote spaghetti, but think about where we are with all of these smart devices right now. Think about when Amazon came out with that smart speaker and people were like, why would I yell at my speaker? It worked.
I'm going to revise my opinion of Echo and the other smart speakers. At first, I thought this is the next interface. This is the next big thing. The voice interface will be very important and huge. I really thought it would be. I don't see that happening at this point.
No, I agree.
What?
Stacey, where are you? Spaghetti or no?
I think it's spaghetti, but I think it's spaghetti, but I think it's spaghetti in the sense like in the right, doing it in the right way, which is, hey, we have all this technology available to us. Let's play, let's make something fun, and then let's see if it works, which I don't think is.
It feels like ATAP is a little more like that.
Yeah.
But I think Apple and all these companies drive towards, Google Glass as an example, towards AR glasses isn't really driven by consumers saying, you know what we really would like? It's a smartphone we wear around our eyes.
Well, but Henry Ford, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses.
Right.
So I would say there's room for spaghetti.
Sure. You got to innovate. And if you're a big enough company with enough resources, you can try a lot of things. There are a lot of cautionary tales like Xerox PARC where, they invented the mouse. Or SRI actually. Mm-hmm. Doug Engelbart invented the mouse at SRI. Same idea though, which was these R&D think tanks often came up with great ideas that they never capitalized on.
I have the Idea Factory in a bookshelf behind me.
Great
which is all
book.
About Bell Labs, and it's a good book.
Yep. Great book. Yeah. And we wouldn't have Unix without Bell Labs. We wouldn't have a lot of the a lot of the server technology we have, a lot of the modern technology we rely on came out as Bell Labs. So it isn't really they didn't come up with good stuff. It's just that like PARC invented the GUI, but they never did anything with it. It took Apple coming along saying, hey, that's pretty cool. Let's do that.
Bill Gross at Idea Lab did a study of startup companies and looked at various factors of what made them successful or not. And I'll cut to the chase. It was timing.
Of course.
This is the guy who created Pets.com,
yes.
and it was too soon.
Yes.
And lost out on Chewy.
Right. And now that concept is actually back.
It's back, right?
We're all
it
ordering
was too
kitty
soon.
litter through the mail.
And meanwhile, Bill's the one who basically invented the Google ad model. It's timing.
Yeah. It's more than timing, but I think it is.
But as a major factor.
It is an idea whose time has come, right? There are lots of
factors
ideas.
Everything's in place that it can work. People are used to it. They're ready for it. But I interrupted you. You started on AR. I asked about spaghetti. You were headed towards something else.
No, I think I got where I was going. And if I didn't,
okay, good.
Then it's too late now.
This is the old people show now. We're like, I
don't remember.
So that's fine.
Antoinette, what time is it?
Did I tell you about that time I got cake? Oh yeah.
Google is now reportedly facing antitrust probes in every state but one. This is from Gizmodo. Ongoing investigations by the federal government in almost every state. California's launched its own antitrust probe into Google. Politico, citing 3 people with knowledge of the new inquiry, reported late last Thursday that the California Attorney General had opened the antitrust probe. This is the problem. I think a lot of these are kind of in secret until they decide to do something with it. Alabama is the only state not known to be investigating Google's practices, and they're probably considering it. Is that wild? That's a tough situation for a company where you have one country but 50 individual jurisdictions that are equally important. It must get complicated.
Yeah, and that's when they stop, forcing or stop going against. What is the word I'm looking for? Stonewalling on things like privacy. It's when individual states start making their lives difficult. They're like, crap, now we got to really do something.
Yeah, GDPR was a good start, but it ended up being the California Privacy Act that seems to have really
in Texas and Illinois both had biometric security laws that were kind of, they didn't really affect them, but so, yeah.
So Google has paid the EU a $5 billion fine for antitrust. That was a couple of years ago.
And they did actually this last week said that they were going to not use your Fitbit data for advertising in an update for the acquisition of Fitbit, which it feels like most people in the media feel like the deal is done because I'm constantly reading about Google's acquisition of Fitbit. And I'm like, it hasn't happened yet.
It still hasn't happened. Oh, that's interesting. Huh.
But
the view is that was to get through EU, yeah.
Totally. And I don't think Google wanted it for that data anyway. They don't want to use your fitness data for advertising. They want to use fitness data to become your health records repository, and like
get into new business.
More valuable there.
Yeah.
Is it my
Couple
imagination?
that with geolocation.
Yeah.
That's a lot more valuable.
But everything on your phone is that valuable. You know, every app on your phone that has those permissions is that valuable.
Not if you don't carry your phone with you everywhere you go.
Oh, right.
That's why, Stacey, that just blows my mind. I can't go anywhere without my glasses or my phone.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way.
This is why voice is so great to me. And like y'all were talking about how you're over voice. I am so not over voice, because that means I can do things without actually having my phone in my hand. And since, still women's clothes do not all have pockets, where am I going to carry my phone?
What is it?
Fair point.
To do the sign of the cross's wallet, spectacles. No, I can't.
Not going to say it.
I can't finish this one. I just realized what it is.
Don't say
but
it.
I go through a version of that every time I leave the house. I pat my pants for the wallet, pat my jacket for the phone. Keys are in this pocket.
Oh, this is why I've never heard it.
Well,
okay.
It comes from.
I found it too. I didn't know this one.
It comes
I
from
didn't either.
The sign of the cross. The Catholics do, and it was a mnemonic for young Catholic schoolboys to remember the order. It's a little dated because I don't think people carry pocket watches anymore. Everything else they still have. So I don't know. I think we're getting more and more. All the things you have to pat to make sure you leave the house, and then. If I left the house without my phone, I would turn back. There's some things I wouldn't turn back.
I typically do.
Yeah, but I have to have the phone.
And quite frankly, the only reason I do turn back for my phone is because I'm listening to podcasts while I'm commuting to wherever I'm going.
There you go.
If it wasn't for that, I would leave it behind. It wouldn't really.
I'm worried about missing an important text message or something.
Oh,
No.
Lord. But I miss important text messages all the time. Nobody,
Yeah.
I've trained everyone in my life to just be like, they call Andrew if they need me.
They call Lisa if they need me. Yeah. Like, for instance, just got a message.
Stacey.
Lisa's ordering Italian for dinner. What would I like? See, if I hadn't checked, I would have missed that if I didn't have my phone.
But you have an
Meatball
Apple app,
subs.
sir, so you should get all of those notifications anyway on your watch, right?
Yeah, why didn't I? Oh, you know why? Because I silence my watch, because otherwise it goes bing dong, bing dong, vibrate, buzz. It does a lot
So
of
what's the
things.
point of wearing it, though?
That's the point. Well, you're saying if I silence the... Well, that's a good point.
He is a podcast professional, so he knows the songs.
Yes, when I come into the studio, I tell everything, shut up!
I got a story I like. Is there a story I like?
Yes, please. I beg of you.
A huge, amazing, into my mind, upgrade to Google Ngram. This takes a few minutes to go through. But if you go and look at all the things you can now do.
What is
it can
Google
tell.
Ngram?
Google Ngram takes the history of books from I don't know when, like the turn of the century, and has 1800, and has all of their words in it and sentences in it, and then you can look at instances of this over time.
It's actually really good.
It used to be fascinating just for
We've played with it a lot on this show.
Entities, right? So they've added all kinds of things, which also indicates to me how smart Google is about the language. So one thing that's fascinating to me is that you can ask about words as verbs or nouns.
Give me a search.
Host underscore all caps verb, host underscore all caps noun. I think
I'm saying that I want to use the word host as a verb versus the word host as a noun.
And is that versus or both of those?
It'll give me two graphs.
So you see when people started ruining the language about 1960 there.
So you could do
host
partner as a noun and partner as a verb, because that is like the worst.
Oh, good. That's a good one. Partner.
Companies.
Yeah, okay.
So when I host a show, that's really a bastardization of what should have been a noun. I am the host. I am, what am I doing?
Play host.
I'm playing host. No, that's worse.
Ooh, do Google as a noun and a verb.
Oh, Google.
Oh, that's fun.
Google,
that's good.
Noun.
You want to do the case. Okay, it's case
Google.
sentence.
Vibe. So Google as a thing, as a pretty much the same time.
Same.
Well,
Yeah.
Wow,
such a
the
short amount
verb.
of time. Can you
The verb took off, though.
Yeah, you could change the timing, I think. I left up there.
So start at like 2000. 1998.
Well, 98?
Yeah.
Is that when it came out?
Look at fascinating. It's switched over
wow.
in 2013.
So for people who are listening and not watching, we're seeing a line graph. And starting in 1998, the verb Google, as in I'm going to Google something, was second to the noun Google, go to the Google company. It remained second. In fact, the gulf widened until about 2013, when suddenly it became more common to use Google as a verb than as a noun.
Which makes them nervous about their trademark, but that's another story.
Wow, that's really interesting.
And when did it officially go into the dictionary as a verb? Do you guys know that? What year that was?
I don't know that it is.
Let me try Xerox verb.
Seems like
Xerox
I heard it
Xerox.
officially.
Yeah, let's do Xerox.
This is only one function, folks. There's others we're going to get to.
This is a really great research tool. And all this data comes from books, right?
Yes, it's books.
Yes.
So I wish they had newspapers too, or soon the web, but they will.
Xerox as a verb,
I think you need a space there.
I need a space. Maybe that's it. Okay.
Come on, syntax error.
It did not found Xerox verb. Maybe it's Bowdlerized. Maybe you're not allowed to use it. That's interesting.
Still looks like you don't have a space.
What else can I do?
And there's a wild card now. So you can do University of asterisk.
Now, what is that going to give me? A bunch of lines, right?
Yep.
And we can see which. Whoa! Look at that. So the University of the New. No.
I don't know what that means.
University of America is a biggie there.
Maybe you need a case sensitive. Go back to case sensitive. Try that.
It was case sensitive. Now it's case insensitive.
Yeah. Worse. Okay, never mind. All right, that's another one. It just said search for university. We'll make it capital U.
Oh,
that's the issue. Yeah.
Oh, then it will have just things that are universities. Yes, it's case sensitive. All right.
No. Okay. Right. No, it's still screwed up, huh?
Thinking. No, it has to.
There you go. That's better. There you go.
Number 1, University of California.
University of Chicago. Who would think that'd be right after?
Well, you know why? Because the style guide, maybe, they publish a lot of the press.
Maybe. Books.
Well, I'm disappointed that UT is so far down, and in Clemson orange.
How dare they?
It's not the right color of orange.
How dare they?
That's Tennessee orange.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, Tennessee orange. I was really just trying to get the Clemson in there.
But it's interesting. It's University of California and University of Chicago are way ahead of everybody else. And the University
a lot of white papers.
Well, no, they have a public. A lot of universities have presses, but University of Chicago actually had a really reputable press, didn't they?
Right.
Jeff?
Well, they still do. Yeah,
still do. Yeah.
All right, here's another one.
Okay, this is
fun.
fun.
An inflection search.
Inflection.
So the example they give is appending an underscore INF all caps to an ngram. So book underscore INF caps a hotel will give you the various verb forms of book.
What's the hotel?
Yes, now space part? A hotel. Space a hotel.
AHOTEL?
Yes.
Oh, like booking?
Book a hotel, booked a hotel, booking a hotel, books a hotel.
So the most popular is the, what would you call that?
Book me a hotel.
Imperative?
Imperative, that's it.
They call it an inflection search. I don't understand what that's.
Yeah, well, it's really it's how it's inflected. So booked is past tense. Booking is a present participle, right? Books
is it a gerund? No.
It's a gerund.
No, a gerund describes something.
Right.
No.
Well, wow. We've forgotten everything we learned in English. This is
doesn't
fun.
matter. You only get 140 characters anyway, so English doesn't.
Then
matter.
there's a full list of tags if you go down.
Oh, look at that! So I could now limit it by a time.
Well, I'm sorry. You go back on the blog post that you went to.
Oh, I wasn't on a blog post. I was just there.
You weren't?
I was just enjoying my Ngram Viewer.
It's on the rundown.
Yeah.
I did not need to see that.
Why? Are you going to spend the rest of the evening
goofing off in there?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I love the part of speech. The part of the inflection tag can be combined with the part of speech tag. So you could do Cook verb inf.
We are nerds.
Oh, we are.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
that's why I knew you'd like
in a
this.
week because of this.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this.
Yeah.
You can find out whether things are at the beginning or the end of a sentence.
Yeah.
Like prepositions.
Words in terms of dependencies. Let's say you want to know how often tasty modifies dessert. So rapacious technology company, you want to see how often that one modifies the other.
Now, what books are in here? All books?
All books that they've scanned, as far as I know.
Which is a pretty wide spectrum of books, yes?
Yeah, I mean, this is in English.
I was about to say they're only in English. And didn't they get I don't remember the law.
Yeah, the Authors Guild didn't like this much, but they think they lost in court.
But they won.
Yeah.
And this is not, they're not presenting the books here. They're just analyzing the books.
Yeah, this isn't a problem, but it was the issue of the excerpts that they were publishing. So you could see how presidents have been written about.
This is
over time.
what starts the sentence or ends the sentence. So it's a start and end tag.
Oh, very interesting.
Oh, nice.
This is really. So do researchers now? I know you teach data at the CUNY, right? I mean, that's data journalism is a big thing. This is one of the kinds of tools they might use.
Now, is there a tool like this that's pulling from the fire hose of Twitter?
Oh,
no,
Dataminr. Or Dataminr. Should we talk about Dataminr? Oh, there's a story. It's right from the headline.
Highly useful this particular time of year,
Yeah. So the fire hose. Very few people get the fire hose because it's a lot. If you could get all the Twitter stuff, and for a long time, people wanted it. This is the big story having to do with the fire hose. One of its partners, partly owned by Twitter, is called Dataminr. And as Phil Libben said on Sunday, the name should tell you something about what they're up to. They have the fire hose. Intercept had this story that police used Dataminr, which will sell its insights to law enforcement and others, to monitor the protests that were sweeping the country after the murder of George Floyd, so that they could find hotspots. And then Twitter said, well, no, they were just doing news alerts. But it's kind of a distinction without a difference. Also, an important issue, because Twitter has in the past, in 2016, for instance, told Congress that they would not do this. They sent a letter to the ACLU saying the use of Twitter data for surveillance is strictly prohibited, and this is in 2016. Dataminr's product does not provide any government customers with any form of surveillance. VP of Twitter, Chris Moody, wrote in a company blog post in 2016, using Twitter's public APIs or data products to track or profile protesters and activists is absolutely unacceptable and prohibited. And yet, there seems to be some evidence that's exactly what Dataminr was doing and selling that information to police who are monitoring protests. So,
with that said, what's the next step then? If this is proven to be the case, what is the next step?
Good question.
They either stop or they pull the feed, but I don't know if they would do that.
What's wrong, though, with police looking at Twitter and saying, well, we just want to see where the next protests are so we can make sure we have law enforcement there to keep the protesters safe. It doesn't mean
keep people safe.
We're not going there to arrest them. What's wrong? Why shouldn't law enforcement be able to use the Twitter fire hose and any data mined from it to help keep people safe? Isn't that okay?
Well, you know how I feel about this because we talked about it on Sunday.
We have better police.
Phil Libben had an excellent distinction. He said,
actually, that was actually.
Well, and you
both
followed
Louise
it up.
And Phil.
Yeah, and you and Louise followed it up with this court decision about the use of FLIR technology going back to, I think it was year 2000.
So Livin's comments were basically that when you have all of the computing power of Twitter or AWS or whatever at your disposal, you're no longer using human surveillance capabilities, and our laws and are only designed for protecting, when you go to that level, it is unreasonable. So people
superhuman
do not
capability.
Yeah, it gives you a superhuman ability that is unfair, and police should not have the ability to do that. And then we were saying that's a good point, but currently our laws don't really recognize that. And then we started talking about some of the legal frameworks that exist, which are all about Fourth Amendment search and seizure issues.
So the
it was
Supreme
actually a really
Court
good discussion.
Case went back to 2001. They were surveilling what they thought was a marijuana grow operation using infrared cameras, thermal technology. The theory being, if you're growing pot, you'll have hot lights in, growing, the grow lights. And in fact, they were able to observe a hot spot on this fella's roof using that FLIR technology. They didn't have a warrant. And the arrestee appealed it all the way to the Supreme Court, where they ruled that authorities scanning a home with an infrared camera without a warrant is unreasonable search as barred by the Fourth Amendment. They said there's an expectation of privacy, and because the imaging provided by the camera revealed details that would not previously have been knowable without physical intrusion. So this was a big deal decision.
But I don't see how that's a precedent here, because this is not about privacy. It's things that have been said in public, but it's to Stacey's point, it's superhuman.
It's
so in that case, Stacey, if that's the test, that isn't a drug sniffing dog.
Oh, that's interesting.
Out of bounds.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's what our argument. We're like, this is an interesting case, but it's not really applicable here. We need new cases, and we will see them. You see them already, like with cases going for the I don't know why I can't think of words today, syllables. But the infinite searches for like geolocation data on people near a crime. So like police officers petitioned Google
those
for that.
Fishing expeditions, yeah.
What is it? It's not fruit of the poison tree. Fishing, yes, fishing.
Fishing.
Fruit of the fishing pole.
See, Stacey hangs out with us. She just gets old and forgetful.
Yeah. You didn't have a taco cake, Stacey, did you?
I didn't. I put in a request for coffee, though, because I am definitely.
When's your birthday? You'll get some for your birthday.
April 12th. It's so far away.
You need coffee sooner? Okay.
No, Fika Friday is, on Friday.
Oh,
so
Fika
I will
Friday.
get cake.
Yeah, Fika Friday. It's an interesting case because honestly, if you're posting stuff in public to organize a protest on Twitter, the police could certainly, as individuals, kind of be watching for that. Or
all they got to do is look for hashtags, right?
But what this Dataminr does is it takes every post on Twitter, big fire hose, and does sentiment analysis on it. So it could actually do more than saying, "Oh, here's a Black Lives Matter protest hashtag in this part of town." They could do sentiment analysis. They could even go so far as to say, we think it's going to be violent based on what we're seeing in the tweets. And I think that's a really interesting question. I think that if you were to assume that the police were benign and that their job was to protect the protesters, recognizing the First Amendment right to peaceably assemble to protest, that they were just going to use that information to go protect them, would you be against it? It doesn't seem like.
But isn't the test instead now, because police and policing are an institution that are troubled, to say the least, maybe the test is not an ideal of police. The test is, would you trust this happening in Iran or in China? And then if you say no, then you say, okay, well, maybe some of our police are good, maybe some of our police are bad, but which was your point, the two of you, and was for his good benefit left out of this discussion. He wasn't there this week.
I'm sort of on the fence with it, though, because, again, it could go both ways.
It's public information.
I like the idea of having the rights protected and the law enforcement being there to help protect the citizens that are wanting to peacefully protest. But then at the same time, I've seen similar stories, not necessarily related to the protest, but where law enforcement has access to so much data and power, and it can be abused, especially when they don't really know how to use that data.
Well, here's the test. If you were a peaceful protest and you wanted police protection, you would call up the police department and say, hey, just by the way, we're going to be marching down this street at this time. You might even get a permit, which is not required. Some jurisdictions try to require it, but it isn't. You're constitutionally protected to any peaceful protest. But people don't do that. Why don't they do that? Because that's not, that, as we well know, that's really not the police's function in many cases. In some cases, it is. I've seen the police preserve the peace, surround a protest to protect the protesters.
I haven't read it yet. Jill Lepore did a kind of history of policing in the New Yorker that brings policing back in America to tracking slaves.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were the slave hunting squads that went out to track escaped slaves in the North. Apple just tweeted, we're giving back to our community. We support Bitcoin, and we believe you should too. All Bitcoin sent to our address below will be sent back to you doubled. Only going on for the next 30 minutes. Would you believe
Did they get hacked?
Yeah, they got hacked.
Yes.
So did Kanye. I'm giving back to my fans. All Bitcoin sent to my address below will be sent back doubled. I'm only doing it to a maximum of $10 million. Elon Musk feeling grateful, doubling all payments sent to my Bitcoin address. You send 1,000, I send 2,000. Also, only doing
tell me Elon Musk doesn't have 2FA?
Yeah, apparently none of these guys do. It's the same Bitcoin address for all of them, and even Bill Gates.
You serious?
Everyone is asking me to give back, and now's the time. I'm doubling all payments sent to my Bitcoin address for the next 30 minutes. Apparently, Jeff Bezos was also hacked.
Wow. Think about all the journalists who follow these accounts, and oh my gosh, for the first time in some cases, they're getting tweets. They're like, woo! And then they're like,
Well, the real issue is it sounds like this may be a bigger problem with Twitter security because some of those people have to be using two-factor. Cameron Winklevoss says that all major crypto Twitter accounts have also been compromised. And he says two-factor and a strong password was used for the @Gemini account we're investigating. So maybe what we're seeing is a massive Twitter security flaw that was discovered by, obviously, spammers. Do not send Bitcoin to that wallet.
Send it to me.
Don't send it to me. I don't know how to get it in my wallet. It'll just sit there. So I don't know. I don't see, and this is a Verge story from just a few minutes ago. I don't see the Jeff Bezos, but somebody in the chat room said it's Bezos as well. So I really wonder what's going on there. I think you're right. I think at least some of those people must. I mean, Bill Gates is using two-factor and a strong password. He must.
That's just crazy. We would like to assume that Twitter is up on its game far as having these things secured and not necessarily using the old plain text fields and stuff like that. But it seems a little particular that it's happening to these levels.
Oh, it did happen to Bezos.
Tech-minded people, you know? I mean, Elon Musk.
Here's Jeff Bezos. I've decided to give back to my community. I like how it's pinned. I like how they customized these too.
Wow.
They really they took some care. This wasn't a big massive spam. This is Brian Krebs watching about it. Krebs, of course, is a really great
also
guy.
Well, he says there Coinbase, Beyonce, whatever,
Binance.
Ripple, CoinDesk,
Beyonce.
Binance, Beyonce.
They missed a bet. They should have been Beyonce, but I think they are Binance. Yeah.
Oh, Binance. Okay.
Yeah.
You were.
Sorry, I was reading fast. We old people, we just kind of skip over things.
So this has to be something wrong at Twitter. It seems highly unlikely that these guys would have been not, at least some of these. I can see Kanye. We know Kanye's password from when it was revealed in his visit to the Oval Office. Right. So
8888.
Yeah. I have a feeling Kanye maybe isn't using two-factor, but these other guys.
So Elon Musk, it's down now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of them are down.
No, it was still in the
maybe
Google
someone
search.
was hired into Twitter. Remember the
Mike Bloomberg also, but his is down now. So
yeah, Stacey, it was Trump. It was a Trump thing, right? Didn't somebody get into Trump's account?
Yeah, but we don't know what the president's security. Apparently, the Biden account was hacked. Somebody's saying, but I don't see the tweets. Uber. Yeah, there's something wrong at Twitter. Check your accounts.
You thinking it's an inside job, Mrs. Stacey?
Check your accounts.
I don't know. I mean, Twitter has had inside jobs in the past. They had the people spying for Saudi Arabia, and those were employees that were compromised.
Oh.
I'm just throwing that out there as a way, like if you, I don't know if it's really a Bitcoin thing or maybe it's like a nation state or who knows anymore.
Did Alex Wilhelm get it too?
Really? At Alex?
Checking now.
I did not, I'm happy to say, but...
Don't challenge anyone, Leo.
Oh, wait a minute. He says, starting to get embarrassed that I didn't get hacked as well.
I didn't either. Oh, damn it. Oh, man. Alex and I didn't. Oh, man.
I love that guy.
Well, that's a big story. I'm sure... I think that has to be a security flaw at Twitter or possibly an inside
Kevin
job.
Roos says if whomever apparently has read-write access to every verified Twitter account also has access to those accounts' DMs, this could make the Sony hack look tiny.
Ooh,
it's true,
that's
but
a
if
good
you're not
point.
using Signal with your sources, bad.
Ooh, you should not be using Twitter DMs for secret anything. But that's
I use
really
DMs
interesting.
to like reach out to people, but
yeah, that's a really interesting point.
If you were going after that, though, you wouldn't be putting up the stupid Bitcoin thing. You'd be pulling all that stuff down, unless it's already pulled down.
It may well be. Who knows? This may be the final.
Maybe it's just maybe it's some stupid teenage boy.
So I have a new rule in life. On Twitter, when I find myself in a facepalm discussion with somebody who starts getting all wacky, I inevitably now look at their profile, crypto. Every time.
Really?
Crypto people. Yep.
Really?
Every time.
Oh.
It does. There is definitely a crypto fringe.
Yeah. There's a magnet there. Well, that was a conversation starter.
You know what? It sounds like
calling
they
the
might
cryptos
have,
crazy.
Apparently, Barack Obama. Apparently, I think they might, in fact, have. I think Kevin Roos might not be far off. They might have access to all verified accounts.
Oh no, that's
that
me.
That would be horrific.
Nobody
I'm
take
not
over
verified.
my account.
Yay.
Or if you're going to tweet something like that, you probably would start with verified accounts for sure, right?
Well, you would probably do something both verified and above 1 million followers, or pick a pretty good ratio, right?
Right.
Not a ratio, sorry.
Wow, that's a really interesting story. That just broke.
Yeah.
About 1 o'clock Pacific. So that's
Oh, that's kind of cool. Does Twitter have a circuit breaker that puts everything on pause like the NYSE? Because now would be a good time.
Now would be a good time. Now would be a good time. Jack, maybe Jack's meditating. Jack, wake up.
Or busy with his other companies.
Come back from Square for a minute. They're doing fine.
This is already in a paste bin of all of the sites. This was a Brian Krebs tweet. Risk IQ's list of domains tied to this scam.
Already? How'd they do that?
They must. I don't know.
They search Twitter for that address, maybe. That'll do it.
These are websites, so I'm not sure what this is. I'm looking at.
You could do. Couldn't you send like test trace? It's like trace routes, but to those, would you see those addresses? Yeah. No, you would see the. Never mind.
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. Cryptocurrency scam domains. So wow, apparently there are cryptocurrency scammers out there. Who would have thunk it?
Why not?
What?
Everyone's a scammer.
What do you think is going to... So Facebook, Remember when we, I loved your hypothetical, Jeff. If you were at dinner with Jeff, Jeff was there, but it was Mark Zuckerberg was the center of attention. If you were there and you could say to Mark one thing that he would do, guaranteed no matter what, I said ban political ads. And Jeff, you raised the interesting point that there are a lot of candidates who that's the only way, affordable way.
That's the only way they can afford to campaign,
reach.
especially now that you can't go door to door.
Right.
But now from Kurt Wagner, I think you're a former colleague, right, Stacey? Facebook, no, he wasn't at Giggle. Facebook mulls political ad blackout ahead of U.S. election. This is a Bloomberg story. Mulls is not the same as plans or think that's merely mulling.
Well,
I had thoughts on this.
It's trial
rumination.
Right.
Jeff, like probably about a week ago, thinking about this, and I don't remember why I thought about it, but it was in the idea of political ads. I know. It was because I was reading about the effect of marketing and like the goals of marketing, right? And typically advertising is to get you to buy something. And that serves the interest of capitalism, right? You're buying a politician as a good that you think you can recognize and understand. I would argue that banning political ads would actually be great because we no longer would think about them as a consumable kind of product. They're not part of a capitalistic structure. Instead, if you think about it from a democratic perspective, like as in a democracy, you would have the politicians sharing their views on Facebook.
Right.
And then
not just ads.
Those being shared naturally. So I would actually say, I've been thinking about this, Jeff, and I come down on the idea that a politician should not be allowed to buy ads on Facebook.
So, okay. So Stacey, here's the thing. If you're the UK or you're France or Germany and you cut out all political advertising across all media, I would agree with you. However, if all you cut off is Facebook, then what you're doing is driving those dollars to the expensive media, which is media, and it's highly inefficient, highly expensive, and that means the big money power only becomes bigger. And of course, we don't ban advertising on TV because we don't do that.
That's exactly what Alex Stamos, Facebook's former security chief, said. Eliminating online political ads only benefits those with money, incumbency, or the ability to get media coverage.
That's right.
Can I interrupt one second?
It does.
Alex, can I interrupt 1 second? Let me interrupt 1 second. I'm doing a purposeful interruption here, Stacey. I'm sorry, but it's on the big story. If you go to Alex's Twitter feed, he just put up you can watch the money going into the Bitcoin account.
Oh, wow.
I want to say that on the side. So, sorry, Stacey, but I wanted that was a little breaking news kind of thing.
Actually putting money.
Oh, dear. You can watch the money.
There's 296 transactions.
Oh, here's the Joe Biden one.
297.
Oh, my gosh. Sorry,
Stacey, but I thought that was too good to give up.
Clearly, I mean, if Biden isn't using, security keys, Titan security style security, I'd be shocked. By the way, Brianna Wu tweeted an interesting story. She has a long, strong, good password on her political email.
Yes.
And it was guessed or hacked or discovered. As she says, thank goodness for Google's Titan keys because they weren't able to get in because of the physical key. You have to think every politician, with maybe one notable exception, every politician has to be using this kind of dongle-based security. You can use it on Twitter. I am using it on Twitter. If Biden, this is an inside job or a Twitter hack. It's 297 transactions, a total of 12 Bitcoin received.
So how much is that now? 299 now.
Yeah. 12 isn't a lot. 12 Bitcoin is about $120,000, but it's clear.
110.
110.
I was about to say, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot for no effort.
The scammer definitely is happy. Yeah. And by the way, there is for most of these transactions, a considerable lag. So you won't see the bulk of the scammed contributions right away. It could take hours.
Oh. And you can't pull it back, right? There's no, once you've done it, you've done it.
Oh, yeah, you've done it.
All right. So, Stacey, I did interrupt you. I get accused of it. This time I actually did it. I thought that was a good quick angle. So you were saying, sorry.
So rude.
This was back to media. Oh, I wonder how, and I wish there was some good research on this, demographically, how it breaks down to people who see political ads. Because so many people don't watch network TV anymore. People who are watching Fox News obviously are going to be seeing ads, but they're also watching Fox News. I don't know. So I'm very curious because I don't know how many people actually see big media in today's day and age.
Nonetheless, it was so look at the options you have as a candidate, right? Best is canvassing, gone. Events, gone. Phone calls. You do it, but nobody's answering their phone anymore.
Nope.
But you can do online events on Facebook. You just don't have to pay for people to access.
Yeah, but you got to find people that way. They already got to be in the tribe. You're not gonna be walking by downtown and saying, "Look at this fair going on with that nice candidate." Right.
That's with your existing network, not necessarily growing the network.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And yes. So what you're left with. So then your point is right, Stacey. Does anybody newspaper ads? Right. But my Congressman Tom Malinowski here, who's great, and I support him, and he's wonderful. He's not going to advertise on the New York TV stations because it's wildly expensive. He could afford one ad in the whole campaign. Who knows if anybody's watching that, right? Local cable, disjointed in a mess. Direct mail. Well, that's probably your best bet, but it's expensive as hell. A lot more expensive than Facebook. And you can only afford to do so much. So you're kind of, especially now, I mean, the pandemic makes it even worse. It's already this case, but it's even worse now. If you take away Facebook advertising from people that's highly targeted to geo and demo and probably interests you, I'm not going to waste if I'm a certain candidate, I'm not going to waste my money on NRA fans, right?
So what
Why should I?
You could do is do partnerships with issues that matter. So let's say you're an anti-gun activist or just you want stronger handgun legislation. If you did a partnership with like Everytown for access to their mailing list in your area, that is a creative way across. And you would have to actually have substantive discussions with those groups to get access that you were trying to change things. So I agree with you that it would be more difficult. I don't believe that will stymie people for too long because it is easier to get access to people and to pull in people. So
if we had an all-out reform of political ad spending, I would be delighted. But short of that, to take away the most efficient mechanism there is today, good and bad, but it is the most effective means of advertising, I think hampers both candidates and campaigns.
I think
this
is something
Obama too.
I don't think that's
these
the
are all
case.
the
I'm
questions
looking at
that
Obama's
Facebook-
page. It's the Twitter. It's not. So maybe the campaign or something else.
Brian Stelter has a screenshot of it.
Okay.
I think these are the questions that Facebook is asking itself, far as this whole mulling it over thing, because I speak to my mom, a couple times a week regarding, what's going on day to day. And she does sales. She does ad sales. And she's been pretty particular about this time of year because it's sort of a damn if you do, damn if you don't for the people that are wanting to buy ads for the network. Because they know that this is a pandemic. They know their revenues have really been cut back, so they don't have the money, and they want to get the biggest bang for the buck because TV is awesome. It's usually worth it from an ROI perspective, but probably could save a little money and get a bigger reach if they use Facebook ads. Who knows?
So, Stacey, in principle, I don't disagree with you. Except that when you then dig into it, if you're a good candidate now, or if you're tomorrow's AOC, the AOC who hasn't been discovered yet, you're not incumbent. You're so limited. It just favors the incumbents so much.
Unless I agree with you though, Jeff, if we just ban all political advertising on all platforms, then even then incumbents, as
They have an
President Trump
advantage.
did
They get
yesterday.
still have an
You could say,
advantage.
"Come to the Rose Garden. I'm giving an important
But the
statement."
Then you
incumbents-
fight
give a
the
campaign
incumbents
speech.
always,
Yeah.
you know,
fight over
the
issues.
incumbents always have an advantage.
Right.
So
Yep.
the key is figuring out how to be more nimble and how to do crazy things. And political history is littered with this. I mean, that's how we got like crazy, what is it, whistle stop tours. And I mean, you see it throughout history. And I'm not a student of political science, but I get your point, Jeff, but we don't live in a world where we can just turn something off at a
Well, you're
drop
turning
of a
Facebook
hat.
off. You're turning Facebook off at the drop of a hat.
But I'm turning one element of an entire system off. And
but then you have unintended consequences across
we
the whole
do,
system.
and I'm going to say yes, we will have unintended consequences. We will probably lose some segment of. I mean, anytime you change things, you're gonna lose some segment of people who were unequipped or unable to adapt to that change. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be. It's terrible for the people who get, who may have otherwise won. But we'll see what those are after the first election cycle, and then we'll move to address it. Or those people will adapt. And I mean, what you're saying is we don't want anything to change because this advantages non-incumbents right now, which is good.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's one of many factors. And I'm saying that another factor is you're going to drive more money to big media money. You're going to entice more big media into the campaigns. There's a lot that happens then. Facebook has become, this is not just political advertising, it's all advertising, right? It's how small businesses
we've done
now.
advertising.
Right?
Yeah, we've done super efficient advertising on Facebook that is, I think, a good service to people who found like the newsletter who are like, oh, I didn't know this existed. It's
Right.
kind of neat. But
So I want the next AOC to
politics-
be able to do that. Wouldn't you? Hey, pick your candidate you like.
Well, my last elections were all in Texas, so all the candidates I liked, they didn't win anyway. And I didn't read about them on Facebook. That's the other thing. The candidates I found were usually, I mean, and honestly, in a lot of ways, they were just indivisibles. Like, here is someone who is not a crazy Republican, because,
I
really
think
in Texas, that's all you can hope.
This is a tough one. I think you make a good point, Jeff, and I just I feel like the worst way you could get political information is via advertising by anybody, any candidate, because it's just not. It lends itself to, Twitter length insight, but maybe that's the only thing we've got. I think we've got a problem, is what we've got. Let's take a little break. We're going to come back. We'll come back and give you an update on the Twitter story. That is a breaking story. That is something pretty wild.
It's Twitter
going
breaking
on right now. It's broken. Yeah, clearly. Our show today brought to you by CacheFly. Now, we use a CDN. When you download our files, whether you do it from the website or when you do it from your podcast application, you're getting it not from our servers, not from our website, but from CacheFly. It's a content delivery network. And I got to tell you, that makes a huge difference. You may not notice it, but believe me, you would notice it if we weren't. Files come in as fast as they can because you're getting them from a server near you. Availability is almost perfect because CacheFly is distributed all over the world. No, nothing can get in between you and our show. That's why we've been using CacheFly for years. We're big fans. There is always one hitch, though, if you're using a content delivery network, and that's when you get a cache miss. When the file you want isn't on that server that you're checking, that means then the server goes out typically and goes to the origin for that data. In our case, it would be, I think, Amazon Web Services. They'd go to an S3 bucket and get the file. Now, when that happens, you're paying, right? And if it happens a lot, you're paying a lot. That's why CacheFly came up with something I think is fantastic. 100% cache shield. With this new feature, you're going to benefit from a drastic reduction in data transfer fees from things like Amazon's S3 and other cloud storage origins by increasing the cache hit ratio to 100%. No more cache misses. when a cache item is evicted for a large one-off request, not only does it cost you money, it means your customers are going to have to wait a bit. 4K content will buffer. The download will pause. And you're going to just spend a lot of money in data out transfer fees. So what's the solution? You buy space on CacheFly with their 100% cache shield. And you now have guaranteed availability, no extra cost, because your digital files, your cache is being loaded directly from CacheFly. You can purchase as much space as you want. Your data is fetched from 100% cache shield rather than from your origin. It keeps your data and content closer to your customers without relying on other companies' backbones or traffic. You're going to see an incredible improvement. Your bills will be lower and your speeds will be faster. Just one of the many ways CacheFly is your perfect CDN. CacheFly's global throughput performance dominance ensures any cache misses are delivered 5 times faster than from the origin. It's almost instantaneous. Look, if you want to know more about CacheFly, if you deliver content, whether it's an app, a game, video, or podcasts, go to twit.cachefly.com right now. They're giving away a complimentary detailed analysis of your current CDN bill and usage trends. You can see if you're overpaying. It can probably save you as much as 20% on your bill. They sure did for us. And there's no pressure, no sales. It's just the information you need to make the right decision. We love CacheFly. We're very grateful to them. Twit.cachefly.com. Twit.cachefly.com if you want to get that information. What's the latest? I'm watching Twitter. It's blowing up. It's going crazy.
Twitter said that they are now aware. So like 3 or 4 minutes ago, they said, hey, we are aware this is happening and we're looking into it.
Hashtag hacked. It's trending. And you're seeing on this hashtag hacked a lot of people. Not President Trump. He was not hacked. So
that's because no one believes President Trump would double your money for anything.
It is one of the problems, isn't it, with Bitcoin, that anybody would even believe this? Let's check in real quickly with the site to see. The problem is hackers often will mess around with their Bitcoin wallets to make people think it's going crazy. So you can't really look at the activity in a Bitcoin wallet and assume that it's all from people who are falling for this. Mike Bloomberg falling for it.
Well, they're not falling. This has to be, everyone's coming to the realization that this has to be inside Twitter, or someone has,
it's got to be
root access to Twitter, basically.
Or there is a much more concerning, there might be a security flaw that has allowed somebody into Twitter. It may not be an employee. It's clearly coming from the inside, but far worse if it's an advanced persistent threat. If somebody's hanging out inside of the Twitter servers and able to do stuff at will, then your DMs might be vulnerable, things like that as well. So this is a big story.
Has Twitter said anything yet?
Just that they're aware.
Yeah, their support just said that they're aware this is happening, and that was like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I keep seeing something that an admin account was compromised. Is what keeps popping up on my feed.
Yeah, I don't know, though. I think Twitter's got precautions. Even if an admin account was compromised, do you think that they could
you allow people to do?
Yeah, boy, that would be pretty serious.
Swift on Security has some useful things if you follow.
Yeah, he, we don't know who it is. It's not Taylor Swift. I think we're pretty sure of that. But I'm going to call her she. She is always very good. And
you could always just say they.
They.
Split the difference,
Might
man.
even be they. Yeah.
So some useful threads there.
Wow.
Oofa.
And stock trading down. It was 5% almost.
You think it's related?
Just now because of this?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
Why wouldn't you say, hey, Twitter, you don't know how to make money and all your top users are getting hacked?
Is it possible that all of these users are using a third party? Maybe the third party got hacked? I don't think so. I think that's highly unlikely. It's too diverse a group.
But
that is
again,
one
I'm trying to think, how will 2FA help this scenario.
Well, this isn't a 2FA situation. So this
right,
is
that's
what's
why
coming
it sounds
out.
like it's inside.
That's
right?
why I'm presuming it's either somebody with admin access, a Twitter insider, or somebody who has hacked into the Twitter servers. Yeah, because you couldn't do this. Presumably, at least some of these accounts have two-factor, which means they wouldn't be vulnerable from the outside.
Oh, now interesting. No, that was 59 minutes ago. I'm not going to repeat this because it does not look real.
It's old.
Roger
Old.
News gets old so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, clearly we don't know exactly what's happening. Clearly it's taken Twitter a long time in the internet time to respond. And it looks like it's an inside something. Yeah, shut it down, man.
They responded.
Yeah, just pull the plug.
They responded 8 minutes ago. So clearly they're all sitting listening to this show. And once we alerted them to the situation, they acted.
You're welcome, Twitter.
They went, what?
Leo says,
throw the big switch.
Pull the plug.
You do wonder what is that what did you call it before the when the stock market the
kill switch or the pause pause trading?
Yeah, what's the circuit breaker? That's what it was.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, that would make sense. I mean,
how would you like a shopping cart that instead of having...
It can get hacked!
Yeah, probably could. Instead of having one of those Amazon grab-and-go stores near you, what if every store had an Amazon grab-and-go shopping cart?
I'd use it. I'd be so excited.
Wouldn't you? So
where do you put the kid?
Having done the Amazon Go experience?
It's called a dash cart. And the idea is it's got touch screen, it's got hardware components, probably cameras. You don't have to scan things. You just throw them in. When you are done shopping, you take the cart through a special lane, boom, the express lane. It's just like fast track for your shopping, and you're done. And, of course, Amazon loves it because it all goes through Amazon. The first grocery store in Woodland Hills in the Los Angeles area.
To be fair, Amazon, because retailers were so leery of giving up their data to Amazon for the Amazon Go package, because Amazon is selling that to companies, they said that they would not have access to the data. So it's possible that this cart would not share access to the Amazon. This cart's pretty cool.
I don't know. It's got a cup holder. It's got, what is that square thing? Something for hold your keys, maybe, or your phone?
Hold your phone.
Yeah, and then it's got a tablet that shows you as you throw things in the cart what it thinks it is and what the price is and your total, and I think that's pretty darn cool.
Where's your baby?
Stop.
There's still the little seat right there.
Yeah,
the baby
don't take your baby this. But would it charge you for the baby by accident?
Yeah, probably would.
Every
baby has a UPC soon, yeah.
So that's interesting.
Priceless.
The Amazon, priceless. The Amazon Dash cart, perhaps coming soon too. By the way,
this is actually good because it's a cheaper way to bring that service to places that don't want to outfit their retrofit their grocery stores.
And I bet there'd be high demand for those carts. No checkers, and go whizzing out the door.
No check. I mean, like,
but you got to bag it yourself. I hate that.
Really? I used to be a bagger.
In COVID time, you want to.
In COVID time, though, you would not want to touch that screen. I hate touch screens, even before COVID.
That's
like at restaurants when they hand you a tablet. Oh, no.
That's why you got to have a clean key.
Oh, yes.
Have you been to a restaurant?
No, I'm just saying, even before COVID, when people handed me tablet, I'm like, I do not want to touch this.
I see.
Gross.
Well, the menus themselves are pretty yucky.
That is one good thing, by the way. We're going to have much better hygiene when we're done with this, right?
I hope so.
We're all going to expect it. I hope so.
No handshaking.
No more handshaking. I think we can get the changelog going here. Do you have the orchestra? Is it ready? Tell them to put down the cigarettes and play the drums.
The Google changelog.
A kettle drummer. He's notorious. Notorious. These are things Google has updated or changed in the last week. This is kind of more like maybe this is going to happen. A new design for Gmail integrating chat, meet, and document collaboration all in one place. Introducing your new home for work, just what I want. Oh, it happened. They announced the changes. So this was a leak The Verge had, but now it's happened. This is if you use Gmail on the Gmail app on iOS or Android, which I don't. It also looks like it might happen if you use the website as well. Side-by-side document editing, that's kind of cool, alongside chat, picture-in-picture meetings. So you never have to leave your Gmail again.
I, for one, welcome my new home.
Yeah. Do you live in Gmail? Why don't they just give me
back inbox and I'd be really happy.
Yeah.
And I love Gmail and the way that it is. I hope I just don't want them to clutter it up too much. I like the idea of having, stuff pretty easily and accessible, but it just don't make it too cluttery and make the user design look really weird.
Yeah.
See, and to me, Gmail now is cluttered because I got used to inbox. You never an inbox person,
right. And see,
did you ever get hypnotized by inbox? No,
never tried it because I'm not an inbox zero person. I think I mentioned.
Well, no, Lord knows I'm not. That was the point. It was I could.
But I like
Gmail
the way it is.
Fan. I tried it, and I was like,
It took me a while, but then I came to love it, and then they snatched it away from me.
I remember you fought it. You fought it, and then as soon as you gave
I
in, they said,
I loved it.
Ha, ha. Like Lucy with the football, they yanked it away from you.
Yep, they do that.
Do you ever lose your recently uploaded pictures on Android? Now Google Photos will add a recently added filter in the search tab so you can quickly find the photos you recently added.
I didn't know that was
Here's the thing.
I didn't either. I just scrolled to the bottom. That's it.
I mean, mine are there like as soon as I hit the shutter, they're up there. It's really quick.
Mine aren't. How do I force it?
Oh.
Mine take a day.
Really?
That's weird.
And I'm on the crappy internet here at my house, and it still goes up pretty quickly.
I'm sitting at home. I take a picture of the cake. It's a day later. It's up.
What?
Wow. You can force it on the picture. You've always been able to do that because, like, sometimes, like when I would be covering events and I wouldn't be on Wi-Fi, I'd be like, "Oh, well, I need you to send this right away." So,
how do you force it? How do you force it from Android?
Okay, hold on.
So I thought it was just a toggle switch that said
upload it.
I don't know. I've done it before, so let me take a picture and see what happens. I am on my Wi-Fi.
It is an issue. I know you're on an Android phone because it is an issue on the iPhone. If the Google Photos app is running in the background, eventually Apple kills it, and so you have to have it open to back up all your photos. But Android, it should be instantaneous. Feels
Mine's
like
usual. Well, mine was only if I wasn't on my Wi-Fi network, but I just took a picture and I was on the Wi-Fi network.
Well, you can turn off. Yeah, you can't say, if I'm not.
Yeah, that was the only restriction I had on mine at one time, but now I don't have any restrictions. And it's quick.
Well, I just got the new version.
Yeah, so if you hit the little hamburger menu up there, just say add to album and backup now, and it will do it.
On the what hamburger menu? Where, Stacey?
The hamburger. So when you take a picture, it resolves, right? And then there's a little hamburger menu on the leftmost side. The three dots. If you hit that menu, you can click backup now or add to album. Or delete from device or photo.
Oh, very nice.
And it also, this is useful, it'll show you the metadata associated with the picture. So like mine puts my picture on a map.
I think Karsten's got the right idea here. After you hit 60, they do slow it down for you because seniors are used to having to wait a day for the 24-hour photo to give you your prints back. So they don't want to be too fast.
I like going to that nice young lady
in the
drive-through photo
We olds are used to waiting, and we don't want. It's scary if the picture's short.
Can I have 5x7s, ma'am? Yes, thank you. I like that. I like bigger because my eyes are getting worse. I want the bigger photos. The 4x6s just don't do it.
Don't forget my Raisinets either.
Raisinets? You get Raisinets at your photo mat? Wow. Sure. Fancy. You had a fancy photo mat. Gboard
we just took those to Eckerd's, the drugstore.
Eckerd's, yeah.
Eckerd's, that's a change down there. So I'm going to stay on the targeting for 1 second. So I think I've figured out the Wall Street Journal is my most frequent advertiser. Why?
Wonder why.
Everything that I get advertised to me is something a liberal would like.
Uh-oh. So
They're
the
on
Wall
to
Street
you.
Journal, which is not known as a liberal newspaper,
No.
Unless you're my mom.
if you're so far to the right that the Journal looks left, okay. But for anybody from the center on over, it's considered kind of a conservative. Nothing wrong with
Murdoch.
that. Well, people with lots of money tend to be more conservative. They don't like change. They want to keep a hold of what they got. I don't blame them. Nevertheless, what it makes them advertise to you so much, you liberal lefty?
I don't know.
That's so strange.
I
Probably
don't
because
know. It
you're
is
a
strange.
journalist and you're engaged in the conversation. I mean,
Yeah.
they must wait. The
No,
Wall
because it's
Street
not.
Journal
They would
is
be doing
advertising
things that
to
I would
you?
hate. Then it's only things I would like.
Because they
It's
want
really,
to sell
it took
you
me a while
products.
to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think so. They want to say, "Hey, you'll like us too. We're
You're
not
a
so bad."
sucker. That's the American way.
Conversion.
We will profit off of the left, the right, the center. We don't care. Your money's just as green as anybody else.
Green is green, baby.
Gboard.
They probably just think, oh, Gboard. Sorry, go on. You're change logging.
Change.
Go
log.
keep change
I'm
logging.
not in a hurry. I'm gonna keep
I
on.
interrupted it.
I'm gonna keep on change logging. Gboard prepares a Google Lens shortcut and dark light themes. Follow the system settings and Google Assistant dictation support. Now, if you're using a Pixel, Gboard's your default keyboard. On other phones, you need to install it and make it the default. Now, this is another one of those APK teardown stories from XDA developers, which means it's in a future update in many cases. But they found a lot of strings describing all that stuff. So that's.
Can they make Gboard good again? Because lately it has sucked.
Yeah, I stopped using it actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like it, but now it's like
They keep
auto
adding
guessing
too
things
much
all the time that
stuff.
are just
Yeah,
weird.
the auto guessing is a bit annoying. I give you that, but I like the feel of it, and I like the additional features that they've added at the top to give you like different sizing options and other little tools built in. It's faster than what it used to be, because I used to hate Gboard, but it's a lot better. It's come a long way.
So, this is fun. This is thank you, chat room, for passing this along. If I go to Twitter and I search for that Bitcoin wallet and I filter by verified, I could probably find all the people who got bit.
Wow.
All the verified people who got bit. I'll leave that as an exercise for the reader. You see, there's the verified, the blue checks. Probably the tweets from people without blue checks are just freeloaders. Yeah, look at that. Look at this. Look at this handle. These are randomly generated handles. Do you think this might be a nation state kind of a attack?
China.
like a precursor to an
China.
election attack. I was actually thinking
Test it
Russia.
out.
Yeah. So this is
That's one heck of a username. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is randomly generated, and look at its tagline. I'm giving back to my community due to COVID-19, and of course, I would imagine its tweets
How old is the
would
account?
be. Joined July 2020, brand new.
Wow.
So this is
you should
related.
report that.
This is related. Oh, they're busy with other things. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to slow them down. Google Fit has added curated YouTube playlists for those of you who like to exercise at home. Playlists called things like Work Out With Me, 9-minute fat burning routine. Oh, these aren't music playlists. These are actually
Exercise.
exercise.
playlists.
I'm
Well-
totally for this, considering the state of what's going on
I'm
now.
getting
and
so fat, Ant. I got to do some lifting. But the problem I have with this is you don't want to do these this is 76 videos. Don't do a 9-minute fat burning morning routine and then a senior gold dance fitness party in the chair and then a home fitness workout train right with BBC Sport and then a full body workout weight loss. That's
Okay,
just
so I'm going to argue with you and say this is actually super fun. So
I'm all for it.
You just do the first one?
It's like a quick, like, boop, boop, this sucks. You're like, it's over in 8 minutes. And then you get to something.
So you just do one of them, though. You don't do all 76.
No, you don't do all 76, obviously, because
you do as many as you can till you fall over.
No, you just do as many as you're feeling up to for that day. Like I do, like I have a Pilates subscription, and you'll there's an option where you could pick like arms, core, and legs, and you could do that, or you can do like a HIIT plus core.
My Pilates instructor is doing 100 burpee a day challenge with her husband. That's
a lot.
This I do not recommend.
That's a lot of burpees.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of burpees.
Hats off to you.
She did it.
But I dig this. We've talked about similar instances like this on Hands-On Wellness. Wink, wink. We need some type of option to work out at home.
Wait, you have a Hands-On Wellness thing? Ant?
Oh, yeah. It's a great show.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And it speaks to me, and I didn't know this. Is this on Twit? What?
This is on Twit. It's a little podcast network you might have heard of called Twit.
No way.
Twit.tv/how.
How? It's really good. Oh, you're going to love this. He's got all kinds of TRX workout, all kinds of workouts, all kinds of things you can do.
I'm so excited. Okay. I'm subscribing right now.
Oh, thank you. But no, I've mentioned a couple of different services out there because we really need to be cognizant of just, we're sitting at home in these home studios or home workstations, and we're not moving around. We're not getting up like we used to if we're working in the office, going to chit chat. We're not taking our 10-minute, 15-minute smoke breaks or walk breaks or anything. And everybody's gaining that extra 15 pounds for no reason. So take advantage of these little services, whether it's home workout or this thing that Google is offering up, and they're free. Jump on it.
Yeah, jump
on it.
Do it.
Wait, is that Ant doing a push-up?
Oh, you want to see Ant doing a push-up? Stand back.
No, he's not as like smiley as I didn't register it as Ant for a moment.
You've got to be aggro when you're doing the workout, man.
He's looking so intense. I'm like,
by the way, Hands-On Wellness is not just workouts. It's also wellness gear, wellness.
It's all wellness tech.
There's a lot of stuff. So
perfect.
Oh my God.
After my cake, I have to do this now.
Yeah, I'm getting so fat. I gained COVID-19 pounds.
Don't worry, Mr. Laporte. I'm still obese.
That's why because that's just BMI. That's why I'm dressing all in black now, because you can't see.
Look how slim he
looks. You can't see anything. It's slimming. Except then on my head that sticks out of the black. I need more. So
we'll just ask them to change the lighting in the studio. That'll help.
Oh God, it's depressing. Google Earth. Google says, we've always said Google Maps is about finding your way. Google Earth is about getting lost. See the planet in new ways. It's 15 years old. Happy birthday, Google Earth. And so this blog post has a lot of Google Earth stories you can do to celebrate the anniversary. Lit trips, tours that follow the journeys of literature's well-known characters. Isn't that kind of fun? Protecting culture. This is
my daughter, when she was young, loved Google Earth. She would spend like as much of her free time just zooming in on places she'd been, places she'd never been.
Well, she should go to it now because there's a lot more stuff in there. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's videos, there's stories.
I think she just kind of pops in on the regular just to check in and see what's up.
Yeah, it's really cool. 15 years. Google Earth is almost as old as Twit is. That's kind of neat.
Oh,
yeah. I benefited from when Uncle Leo did a garage clean out and brought all of his old tech into the Twit studios and just said, "Here, have at it." I have the Oculus.
Oh yeah, this would be fun with the Oculus.
And here recently, the family and we've been jumping on to Google Earth VR.
That's neat.
And it is such a great experience and allow you to see things so up close and personal. If you can get your hands on the VR version, it is awesome.
Yeah, it's a shame Google killed cardboard because that was a very inexpensive way. Mm-hmm. But you could go in it on your phone. You don't have to have it on a visor and still see the world in VR. So that's
we recently got back from Rio.
Oh, what fun! Well,
that's true. You could do little little fun projects.
There's also there are 3 Where in the World is Carmen San Diego capers in there.
Oh, we should do that.
You can they're doing news in there. Vox is doing news stories in there. So this is great. Happy anniversary. 15 years of Google Earth.
Cheers.
And this is just broke today. Google Meet is adding Zoom bombing protection. Wait a minute. That's a lowercase z, huh? I guess Zoom bombing has moved from noun to verb. Google will block anonymous users from joining video conferences if you're doing it through G Suite for Education, as it should be. A lot of the bombing, as it turns out, was really just kids in the same class kind of messing around, as kids do.
What? Kids taking advantage of technology to cause havoc?
Never happened.
No.
And that
juvenile jokes
is your
So did you guys see that you can buy a hardware thing of Zoom?
I love that. I was just looking at that.
It's not expensive. It's about $500. The Zoom tablet.
It's $599. That's expensive.
Wait, what?
Well,
for a dedicated Zoom tablet?
Okay.
You're
I could
using
buy a
it all
Chromebook
day.
for less.
Yeah, but it's 27 inches. I don't think that's outrageous.
And it has software for doing things like whiteboarding and stuff.
Yeah. It's a built-in touch screen device. It has 3 cameras and 8 noise-reducing microphones. So you're going to get a better picture, especially than on a Mac laptop.
Did Apple create this?
No. It's Zoom did it in partnership with a number of companies. The first one is Zoom for Home, and it's called D10Me. I guess that's the company.
D10 is the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, a San Jose-based company that makes video conferencing appliances. So
what does 3 cameras do in Zoom? What does that do for you in Zoom?
Oh, we'll have to buy one and find out.
Does it track?
You gonna buy one? You gonna buy one, Leo?
I was thinking, this would be good for is my mom. Because I could. That's who it's for, right?
For seniors.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, then it's for us. We have to buy it, Leo.
And then I was also thinking, at first I thought, well, wait a minute. If you're working from home, you're on a computer, why would you need a separate device? But actually, as I thought about it, if you have the room for it on your desk, having a separate device is nice because you can still use your computer as you would normally, and the call is a separate thing. This is effectively a video phone. And by the way, other companies are doing something similar. This is Zoom. This is just the first one from Zoom. 27 inches, though. That's pretty big. It takes, as you can see, it takes up a lot of space on the desk there.
But it's mobile, though, so you could pick it up and take it down to the kitchen. 27 inches is pretty big for a kitchen.
I think your wife would kill you bringing a 27-inch phone to the kitchen.
If it allowed her to talk to her friends.
If it played Disney Plus, it'd be great.
My wife would kill me. There's no question about it.
You could never get Disney Plus off of it. So it also makes it easier to present. It's got meetings, whiteboards, contacts. If you have a calendar, the calendar will be on the screen. I don't have that. Let's see if I can find
Why
that.
wouldn't they do it? So I would like to use my Google display that I already have 2 of, or my Echo display.
I know.
For Zoom
Leo,
calls.
go back up. The Zoom, go to the Zoom home, Zoom for home. No, down.
Scroll down.
Just the link. Right there, the link.
Oh, actually look at the actual product. What a thought.
There you go.
See, this shows the calendar. So if you got a Zoom call, you just press the start button. You're in. Yeah, the 3 cameras, it looks like one's pointed left, one's pointed right, and one's pointed center. So maybe
can you walk around?
Maybe you can walk around, yeah. Or maybe the idea is you can have multiple people in your meeting. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was probably designed for an office, and they're switching it right now to home.
Sure.
Yeah, in fact, I'll bet this was all ready to go. Put this in your office, and nobody's in the office.
Right.
So suddenly they just rebranded it.
3 intelligent
That's interesting.
wide-angle
Facebook used to have a wall of Skype where they just had, it was like this idea if you're remote working, basically, that you could actually stay in touch with people all day long. And it's kind of similar to the idea like having video conference hours where you would just have your video conferencing on for a time period just to like
Office
be in the
hours.
office when you aren't in the office. Yeah.
Now remember that, and I really wanted one of these, but it was a lot more expensive. Google did its own smart display, right? With it was a whiteboard.
Oh yeah, we have one in
fancy
the office, the
whiteboard?
schools.
Yeah.
Smarter things. I thought Microsoft did that.
Microsoft
bought
also did it. Yeah.
Yep.
Microsoft still sells.
It was a
it.
little
The
complicated.
they call them the. Oh, now I've forgotten. It's not a
Smart
HoloLens.
board, smarter things, something like that.
And there was the
They had an
Surface table,
office.
but that was different.
That's what it was. It was a Surface, wasn't it? They had purchased a company that made giant monitors. And in fact, they've got one coming soon. That's going to be even better. Wait a minute. Ultralight and portable, 14 pounds. Ant maybe would think that's ultralight and portable. Me, I'd be hunched over.
Hands-on
14
wellness,
pounds.
so you can lift your
Wow.
Zoom monitor.
It's not that light. All right, let me pre-order one because I think we probably should.
We did it.
Probably should have this.
Woo!
I could probably do the whole show from it.
And you could do a little segment of Ant lifts technology, and so you could just pick
That's a good
devices
idea.
each week.
How heavy is it, Ant? Not so
It'd
heavy.
be like this is appropriate
That's
for
really
lunches
heavy.
when you don't have any other options at home, you know?
Right.
How they're always like, you can lift weights with like
Oh,
hands
I should
and
probably
just
get
water.
2 then, so that you could do a
No, because
bicep
you could
curl.
just use Zoom.
You do the bicep curls.
You just zoomed the other
Well,
side.
you could just squat with it, like a 15-pound weight.
15 pounds. No, I think that's even light
I
for
squat with
bicep.
a 15-pound
You could
weight.
curl. You could curl probably 20. Those big 20-pound dumbbells, 35-pound dumbbells in your sleep.
Go higher.
50? They even make them that big?
Yes, sir, they do.
Oh my
I
God!
was excited because I could bench 50 pounds, and now I just feel sad.
You can bench. He does 50 pounds with one hand like that.
Pinky with a pinky.
With his pinky. Just boom.
This pinky.
Is that how you
So
get
could you
this?
ever imagine this appliance being something you could use for all your hosts?
No.
No, because the software will just mess up trying to do the show.
Well, we
I'm
we
still
can
trying to wrap my head around the 3 different cameras and how it knows
they're
to switch.
smart.
And,
So as you move, it can make. I guess I don't know. That's why I have to buy one to find out.
okay, we'll look forward to that, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know.
So I end up doing calls with people from Facebook on like they had
The portal.
information session about the oversight board.
Yeah.
And there they use the Facebookers are
portal.
using the
Yeah.
portal.
Yeah.
And they walk around and it follows them.
Yeah. I had a portal in my house. It was so creepy, so I gave it to Burke. It's gone now. I don't know what.
And there's
it's in
no telling what he's done
I have
to
no
it.
idea. He's turned it into a robotic vehicle, probably.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
I had 2 of them. I thought that was, I shouldn't buy this because I did buy 2 of those. And the idea is I was going to send one to Mom and have one here. And it did follow you around because it's a 4K camera. And so it was kind of neat. I think it was pretty sweet. I like
Your
the
Google
story
displays
time.
will follow you around now, too.
Will they? Oh, good.
The
But
camera on
see,
them, yes.
Yes, that's right. I've noticed that.
But I'm just trying to think aloud here. It has the 3 cameras on there. And as Mr. Jarvis suggested, you had a couple people in the room on the same call. The mics are going to be sensitive enough to pick up 3 different inputs.
It's got 8 mics.
Because they got 8 mics.
You
So
know,
yeah,
that-
I'll bet it's tied to some smarts around where
You
the
could steer
where
the
face
mics.
is.
Oh, yeah.
You can steer them
it's
in
just
an array
like,
mics.
remember Cisco's fancy
Yeah.
video
Right.
camera
Right.
technology? What was that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Did anybody get an invitation to Eric Schmidt's secret summer camp?
Not
No.
The one in
me.
Sonoma County.
No, it's not. It's in
No.
Yellowstone, which is a country club in, where is
Not even the
Yellowstone?
virtual one. You think I could at least get to the virtual one?
Yeah, no
Which they're
kidding.
doing this year.
Lady Gaga, Senator Cory Booker.
It's so secret. Rico did analysis of flights and things to figure out who's there.
To see who is there. So
Talk
this
about
is
privacy.
so the Allen and Co is not on this year either, is it? The Sun Valley conference.
Can't be.
No. You wouldn't get a bunch of billionaires face to face, or maybe they're so rich they can't get COVID-19. That might be the case.
I think that's what
They're
they
also
want
so
you to
rich
think.
you can't get hacked.
Mitt Romney has a summit? I didn't know that.
Oh, there's apparently a lot of them.
Everyone has a summit.
Charlie Rose used to have one.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
try not.
used
Hope there's
to.
no pictures from that one.
No. My favorite was the fake one on the TV show Succession. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was quite
Yes.
good. Yeah, really enjoyed that.
Also, Billionaire had one too.
Billionaire had one
Billions.
too.
Billions.
So you've been to some of these. I mean, you've been to Davos anyway. Is that kind of like what it's like?
No. This is much more exclusive.
Much more fancy. Okay.
Yes.
So, of course, the reason that they do these, they say it's to make the world a better place. What it really is to make the political connections that you need to make a Google a richer company.
Yeah. They're all just golfing together.
Yeah. I've been to the Bohemian Grove, which often got dinged for being the room where it happens in a private space where all the bigwigs get together and plan world domination. It's just a bunch of drunk guys peeing on trees. It's not.
Yeah, sure. That's what he has to say.
That's kind of
he joined the
frustrating
Trilateral
part about
Commission
it, though.
there.
Well,
These
but that
sorts
is
of
true.
events.
It's not overt. In fact, that's, I think, the key to all these. It's not overt. Like, all right, let's make a deal here. You take the East Coast, I'll take the West Coast. It's all subtle, but the friendships that you make are very, very valuable. That's why I was in Skull and Bones at Yale, because those people are now on the. No, of course not. You think they let me in? Oh, this kid looks like a future Supreme Court justice. Let him in. No, we had our own secret society like Skull and Bones. It was called Bong and Spoon. We had T-shirts anyway.
You should have called it Caked and Baked.
Caked and Baked.
Oh, that's
showtime.
Or baked and
Ooh, I like it. Cake and baked. Or bake and cake. Kind of, that's more the
baked
usual
and cake,
order.
maybe. Yeah.
Shake and bake.
But honestly, I think these really are social events as much as anything. But everybody knows that the friendships and connections you make, that's...
Well, and deals get made there.
Do you
Deals
think
do
deals...
get made
I don't know
get
if they're going to get made there. I think they get made after the fact because of the meetups. I think about some events that I've been invited to years and years ago that I had no idea I would ever be invited to those things. And it led to relationships outside of those events just because we hung out and swung the golf clubs and peed on trees and stupid stuff like that.
But you're saying that sometimes people say, hey, let's go have a cigar and let's work this thing out. Just the two of us.
Yeah,
Forget
or
the
they
lawyers.
they get together talking and they're like, oh, you're bemoaning a problem and someone's like, oh, actually, I know a guy who can solve that, or I have something that can solve that. Let's get together. And they sit down and believe me, this is how deals happen.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. Like, as I'll say, as a woman, like when I was in Texas reporting, all the tech execs in Austin would go on this hunting trip down to Argentina, and that's where their deals got done. And you're like,
yeah. And there were never any women on those trips.
Yeah. Women do not go on those trips.
The ones the events that I've been in, there were hardly ever any women. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Cause women can't pee. Well, we can pee on trees, but it's a little less graceful.
It's just not as gracefully.
Truthfully, if you pee on a tree, sometimes the tree will pee on you. And that's where it really becomes a problem. So...
We're just going to stop this whole line of conversation. This can go nowhere good.
Hit the brakes.
Let's just stop.
So Wendy's is trying to make a Bitcoin joke on their Twitter account.
Oh, dear. What is the joke?
I think too soon.
Too soon.
Makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'll let you pull up Wendy's Twitter account.
Honestly, is it just Wendy's?
Wendy's.
Honestly, this is the problem in a way I have with all of this. Do you think that Steakums or Wendy's, besides getting some press, really gets any real benefit from their presence on Twitter? Real people don't care.
So Steakums, I interviewed Nathan Allebach, the Steakums guy. And you can find that on Buzz Machine if you want to watch it. He's a very nice guy. In their case, it's like Taco Bell. You take an old brand and you're trying to infuse the brand with something new, right? Taco Bell was not cool. Taco Bell is now cool. Who would think, right? I mean, I'm getting.
Yeah,
taco
but they did things, cool. Other things to make them cool, like when they said, "Hey, space station, hit our target, and everybody in the world gets a free taco," and stuff like that. They've had that's good guerrilla marketing, And that has I just don't think Twitter has much reach, to be honest.
But then it gets talked. See, Twitter is a spark, and the fire goes on in media.
All right.
Oh, you can't tweet from your verified account now. How fun is this?
Oh, that's one way to solve the problem. Let me try to tweet. That's interesting. Oh, that's certainly.
I have power.
That's certainly one way to do it. Is well, we won't let any verified people tweet.
Nope. Something went wrong.
I am verified and
Bourgeoisie
tweeting.
have been silenced. The proletariat now rule.
Something went wrong, but don't fret. Let's give it another shot. This request looks like it might be automated. You don't seem real, Leo. So that's interesting. So if you got the blue check, no tweets for you.
Tweets.
So
the mass has taken over Twitter.
That tells us, though, that
the privileged are now sidelined.
They may be incorrect, but that Twitter believes it's related to the blue checks. Because if somebody had full access to Twitter, they would they could tweet non-blue checks too. But it sounds like they believe that there's something related to the verification system. That's interesting.
Ant, are you not verified?
I am not verified. I tried several times.
Let me see if I can reply to a tweet of yours. See if that works.
I just tweeted.
I see. Yes.
Can you reply?
I'm trying right now. Nope.
Oh.
Let me see if I can retweet.
Yeah, I was about to do that.
Can I retweet?
I guess this is also stopped for the verified accounts that have
I can retweet.
I could retweet.
Have scheduled tweets.
Right. So somebody's Andrew Barron asked an interesting question in Twitter. He said, "What do you think? Will Apple abandon Twitter? It's certainly not worth the reputational." This is my point. We're on Twitter, but how valuable is Twitter? At what point is Twitter not valuable enough for the reputational damage? Or the risk that, somebody might believe Apple was going to double everybody's Bitcoin. I don't think Section 230 protects
those
you.
people are too dumb to be Apple customers. Apple customers are much smarter than that.
Much smarter than that. Speaking of Apple, did win its Irish tax battle. You may remember that
Big deal.
Marta Vestager was really going against the tech companies because of the sweetheart deals they had made with various countries in the European Union. Apple had a deal with Ireland that it essentially would pay no income tax. And so the European Union said, no, Apple, you owe $14.8 billion to Ireland, which it'll then pass on to us. Apple took it to court, and the second highest court in the EU says, no, that's not true. That's bogus. It said it annulled the decision because the commission had failed to meet the legal standards in showing that Apple was illegally given special treatment. It's often the case. Cities do it too, where you get special tax breaks for the economic development you're bringing to a country. And Apple was using this, as Google was and others, to hide their income from the United States tax. They would transfer intellectual property rights and other things to favorable nations. Apple actually transferred a lot of the property rights for its products to Ireland, to a small division in Ireland. All the income went into this Irish subsidiary, and there was no income tax. The problem is, of course, it's offshore income. Apple eventually did onshore all of that income when President Trump gave them a tax break. But you
had to bring this up on tax day, didn't you?
Yeah, it is tax day, isn't it? Wow. So Apple will save $14 billion in taxes. They don't have to pay.
Meanwhile, people like me are still paying way more than Apple and Amazon.
Way more than the percentage-wise.
So annoying.
Yep, it is.
So the Twitter wags are out like crazy. Rebecca Monson, my fellow no-checks, our time is now with Hamilton. Parker Higgins, cancel culture has gone too far.
It looks like Macworld was able to tweet from their verified account. So.
Hell of a way to shut down Trump's account.
Nice.
Matt Corradini, The verifieds were the virus. Twitter is healing.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. What is there a hashtag for that?
No, there should be. You know, if it were in the hands of us privileged people, we would have thought of that, Leo, and had the hashtag, because that's kind of why we're privileged. But the mere masses here just don't know how to do Twitter, clearly.
Clearly, you people are Twitter inept. Get with it.
Start burning you in effigy right now.
By the way, notice what the middle column in my tweet deck is. It's your Jeff Jarvis's COVID list, which I keep open all the time because that's a very good source for real information.
It is now up to, so it's bit.ly, folks, it's bit.ly/COVID Twitter list, and it's now up to more than 11,000 followers.
And the people on it are all epidemiologists, scientists.
virologists, geneticists, biologists, infectious disease doctors, researchers, public health officials, and one or two journalists.
Yeah. It's really a great source. It's kind of
it's amazing to watch. It's just amazing to watch science at work.
Yeah. Oh, and then somebody's saying nobody will hack you because you're not relevant in this century.
So Ben Collins at NBC, who's their Ben is their security, online guy.
Yeah.
So he's tweeting for a different account.
Well, don't you have a backup account in case of virus break glass? Surely you do.
That would be my secret identity. You do?
I do. I mean, it's just I have two other Twitter accounts that I can use, but I don't have anything I need to say that badly.
So apparently, verified accounts are looking for single-word tweets that they can retweet and stitch together to say things. That's really
I can't believe
funny.
Mike Masnick is not verified.
Yeah, isn't it? It's just shows you, right?
It's just
shows you.
Just shows
crappy
you.
people verified.
Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing to have that blue check. Roman roads is a subway map.
I found this just amusing and enjoyable.
That's really great.
And it is.
Yeah.
And my God, what a network.
No kidding. It actually looks like a real subway map.
Yeah.
And many, by the way, if you go to Europe, many of these roads are still around. Some of them are actually active.
Get a load of the logo in the lower left, SPQR.
Quattuor viri viarum curandarum.
Show off.
Yes. That's
Do what now?
Never mind. It's
I'm like,
reading
huh?
Latin.
I'm reading Latin. I don't understand it. I'm just
I got
reading
that, but
Can Karsten read Latin? Karsten, do you read
Karsten can speak Latin. Sometimes Karsten and I, when we don't want Ant to know what we're talking about, we'll talk in Latin around him. No. No.
Just say Zoom. Just say Dune first, and then I'll go ahead and tune you out.
Boom, doom, zoom, boom, boom,
Doom,
boom, boom.
DS9. Then I'll tune you out.
I thought Ben Thompson had an excellent stratechery piece on the Tik Tok war yesterday, in which he said,
I didn't get a chance to read it yet. Yes,
yeah, it's good. I can summarize it. It's pretty wide ranging, as often his thought is, and often he's always very insightful. He gets Quibi in here and a bunch of other stuff, but TikTok is very successful because humans prefer video to photos to text. TikTok makes it easy to create videos, and this is the key, ensuring a virtually infinite supply of content. Even if most of it's low, TikTok relies on the algorithm to surface the good stuff.
Yep. And also the interactivity of it, the collaboration. I create a sound or I create a video and you can add on to it.
And that's the fun.
Amazing.
That's the fun part, and that's where you get a lot of content. But then the algorithm is able to surface the best. He says that's exactly opposite Hollywood's model, which is that video is scarce because it's expensive to produce. So you got to pick the hits ahead of time, and that's where Quibi went wrong. That's what Quibi's big disadvantage is.
Because it was big old Hollywood think.
As Karsten says, "Oh ubi es mi si booby." So booby.
Wow.
Where has my little dog gone? I believe is the translation. So he also talks about he says, I cannot emphasize this point enough. One of the gravest errors made by far too many people in the U.S., and remember, Ben lives in Taipei, he lives in Taiwan, is taking an exceptionally self-centered view of U.S.-China relations, where everything's about what the U.S. says and does, while China is treated like an NPC, a non-player character. It's insulting to China, a great nation with a history far longer than the United States. So he's giving a lot of credit to China's strategy, and he describes what China's strategy is. It's not military conquest. And in fact, we've talked about that many times on all of our shows. He quotes President Xi Jinping, the president for life of China. Since the end of the Cold War, countries affected by Western values have been torn apart by war or afflicted with chaos. If we tailor our practices to Western values, the consequences will be devastating. We need to spread our way of life because the competition in the ideological domain is fierce. The very real threat of Western anti-China forces in their attempt at carrying out Westernization within China is an intense ideological struggle for survival. By mentioning this, he says, so you have to understand, TikTok is a Chinese company. And of course, TikTok is vacuuming up as much data as it can from your usage to your IP address to your contacts and location, similar to what Facebook does. He says, but the differences emerge. Facebook's a U.S. company. TikTok is claims that it's independent from ByteDance and stores data in the U.S. and Singapore, but its privacy policy is clear. One line that's all that matters. We may share your information with a parent, subsidiary, or other affiliate of our corporate group. Data, it can and probably is being sent to China. All Chinese internet companies are compelled by the country's national intelligence law to turn over any and all data the government demands. No warrants needed. Power is not limited by China's border. So he says, look, TikTok's great, but you probably shouldn't be using it. It's time to take China seriously and literally. The Communist Party is not only ideologically opposed to liberalism, that's the lowercase L, the Western liberalism. It believes that only one of liberalism or Marxism can prevail. To that end, it's been taking action for over 20 years to control information within its borders and over the last several years to control information outside its borders. It's time for the U.S. to respond both on the government level and corporate level. And so he is... I think it's a fairly nuanced article. It's well worth reading, but he comes up.
Yeah, but I don't quite understand what should the response be.
He says, this is without a. So he says, Apple and Google can not only remove TikTok from the App Store, they could, if ordered, make already installed apps unusable, and he says they should do it. He says I was on. Well, they could not be ordered to. I was on. Well, he says he would prefer Congress to order them to.
I was on with Ben Wittes and Kate Klonick, who are two great legal minds I know, for their podcast the other night, and they said no, government cannot take down TikTok. First Amendment.
Well, there's a couple of routes. There's CFIUS, the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. They can review ByteDance's acquisition of Musical.ly, which was an American company. There's also the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which would require declaring a national emergency. Congress could. I don't know if First Amendment.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. They're not taking it. It was a paper tiger. Paper lion, paper tiger.
Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, said we're thinking about it. We're mulling it over.
Because we have to say, because that was the whole point. The whole political thing right now is to distract us and think that the big issue in the world now is China.
If China, and again, but this is Ben's point of view. I don't know if it's correct or not, but I think it's well reasoned. If China is on the offensive against liberalism, not only within its borders but within ours, it's in liberalism's interest to cut off a vector that has taken root precisely because it is so brilliantly engineered to give humans exactly what they want. But you're right, there may not be the legal precedent, the ability to do this, but he says if we can, we should order Apple and Google to take
We're going to
TikTok
look
out
at
of the
this, though,
store.
as something akin to like banning sugary sodas when New York tried to tax that.
true.
We're going to be like,
yeah.
our individual right to give our
No,
data.
I think Americans, this would be a case, though. Americans, let's face it, we can be a little chauvinistic. I think Americans, it wouldn't be hard to get a consensus in America if you said, look, this is a Chinese app. It's spying on us. It's an arm of the Chinese government. We should not, it's dangerous to have it. And a lot of companies, the U.S. military, a lot of people are saying, no, you can't use TikTok. I could see that being supported by the American public. I could see Joe Biden even saying, he doesn't like Section 230.
We say things like buy American, but when we deal with our personal interests, we tend to backtrack on things like that.
Yeah, but there are a lot of TikTokers who'd be upset. But they're mostly non-voters, I would guess. So I don't know. I think
Sarah Cooper. We need Sarah Cooper for the democracy.
Yeah, is she the lip dub president?
So I'm going to quote to you from Filippo d'Estrada, 1474, was just writing about this. A appeal to the Doge of Venice for the scourge of printers. They shamelessly print at a negligible price material which may, alas, inflame impressionable youths, while a true writer dies of hunger. Cure, if you will, the plague which is doing away with the laws of all decency and curb the printers. We've been here before.
Yeah. But what we haven't been before is, on the surface, TikTok is a fun, enjoyable social network. But what if it really is all about gathering as much information as possible about the American populace? To what end? I don't know. I mean,
well, that's the thing. See, so then you do it could be bad. The what if?
Well, I'll give you one example that Ben raises is China is most certainly looking, surveilling Chinese nationals in the United States
which they're doing already. Yeah.
So
and Chinese nationals, believe me, know. I've had them in classes, and they know even in a private class what not to say.
Yeah.
Stacey, I think you're muted.
Oh, yeah. And they're not on TikTok probably for.
Right.
I bet you they're not. Yeah, I bet you they're not.
We're doing trainings for media, like African American media, Latino media, and so on, for the threats that exist against voting and stuff. Right. And Chinese media said, no, we don't need you. We've been dealing with this for a long time.
So what? Okay. So let's say that it would be inappropriate for the federal government to order Apple and Google to kick them out of the store. Something, by the way, the Chinese government has done for ages to things like Facebook.
Yeah, but that's the difference between us. We have a First Amendment.
So let's say would it be reasonable to have a public campaign that says, stop using this, it's dangerous? Would you support that?
No, because you don't really know it's dangerous. It's speculation.
Right. No, there's no substantiating evidence that says, hey, this is dangerous. And you got to be able to get the normal people to buy into that campaign. And I don't think there's any way to get that to happen.
No.
Well, certainly.
Heck, we have evidence that like vaccines work, but we still have a bunch of people who won't use them. So all you need is enough people to cry conspiracy theory.
Right.
No, TikTok isn't terrible. And China would totally exploit that. And then poof.
Well, there are a lot of companies that are saying, Wells Fargo, for instance, says, don't put that TikTok on our company phone. I don't know.
How many company phones are there in the world? What is the trend towards personal devices versus corporate issued devices now? I'm curious what the breakdown is like in today's day and age.
That was, of course, one of the big trends of the last 10 years was BYOD.
BYOD.
Yeah, people bringing their own app because the iPhone, they didn't want that really started when the company phone was a BlackBerry or a Windows CE device.
And everyone wanted iPhones.
Everyone wanted an iPhone. I'm not using that.
Windows Mobile 6, baby.
Yeah. I love that Windows Mobile phone.
Now, I did what I had. So at Fortune for Time Inc., I had to have, if I was going to use my phone as my primary device, which I wanted to, they required me to put software on it that was actually kind of dodgy. So I'll be honest.
Like an MDM?
I took the Hillary route and used my personal device and email. Part of it was that Fortune took 3 weeks to get me an actual email address, which was a long time as a reporter not to have email.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Speedy onboarding process.
point being, I think there's lots of people using their personal devices. I think these sort of things send a message that might influence people, but probably not the youths.
Leo, you're going to be left to a point where you'll have nothing left to quit. Then what do you talk about? You know,
I wouldn't. I mean, I like TikTok, but honestly, I think the real risk to me for TikTok is it's a brain softener. So I try to stay away from it. But
it's just fun.
It's the kind of thing you just scroll and an hour later you look up and you go, "What happened? I lost."
I never got anything out of it. I see all of the trendy videos, but I never really got anything out of it. And then for me, the audience that I know I have, most of them don't tend to care about TikTok either. So.
Of course, Amazon famously sent out a letter saying you can't use TikTok. The security team sent that. And then Amazon realized, we do a lot of business with China. Never mind. Right. Never mind.
We didn't say that.
Amazon Prime Video actually advertises on TikTok. So it's probably a very good advertising platform, right?
Profit matters, baby.
I am not a fan of jingoism, of anti-Chinese racism by any means.
The Chinese government sucks. You're right there.
But I don't trust the Chinese government.
No, I don't either.
And,
I don't either.
But I think their goals are not militaristic with us. They might be with Taiwan and Hong Kong, but they are certainly economic with us. Yeah.
But here's the problem with that way of thinking, right? Is that a lot of people in the world don't trust America right now.
Well, we're in the same boat. In fact, we just found out that, the CIA's been hacking those other guys just as much. That's, of course, it's a two-way street. In fact, the problem I always had with cyber warfare is once you start doing it, it opens the door for everybody to do it. And that's really a bad situation. It's the kind of thing like chemical warfare, honestly, I think should be, banned by a Geneva Convention because it's damaging to all parties. It's an easy thing to do. It's a cheap thing to do. It doesn't cost as much as one missile, one cruise missile. But I think I lost that battle a couple of decades ago. All right.
Maybe.
I still can't tweet.
Jeff still can't tweet. But you know what we can do? Coming up next, it's time for our picks of the week.
I'm muzzled. So many people would love to do this.
Why don't we start with you, Stacey, for your pick of the week?
Well, this is brought about by the Google Ngram discussion. You may have read this. It's not a new article, but I read it I think I stumbled upon it a couple days ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was fascinated by it. Did I put it in there? Where's our picks of the week?
You did not.
This thing just keeps scrolling.
You did not put it in there. It's not in there. Otherwise, I'd be showing it right now.
I know. I'm like, where's
It's just blank. Stacey's thing is blank.
I'm going, you guys. Here I am. Okay. I'm so not awesome. Okay.
I see it now.
There it is. This is 9 words formed by mistakes. And this is a Merriam-Webster article about how we got these words. And most of them actually come from the same thing.
Wait a minute. Apron is a mistake?
Yeah. And it finally explained to me why orange is such a different word.
Because you can't rhyme anything with orange. Yeah.
Well, in French and in Spanish, it is naranja in Spanish, and I can't remember what the heck it is in French. Oh, no, in French it's l'orange.
Orange, I thought.
Yeah.
But the Spanish, I was always like, why is it naranja? And then reading this, it tells you.
The Arabic word is naranj, passed into French through Old Occitan, which spelled the word oranja.
I love this stuff.
Which ultimately became orange in modern French. The N vanished because the indefinite articles in French une and en end with an N sound, and the word was respelled accordingly, dropping the initial N. So that's why there's an N in naranja, but not in orange.
Exactly. And a lot of these became the indefinite article kind of got in the way. If I were to sum up this article, it would be your le or un or whatever became truncated. So I just thought this was kind of neat for people who like words.
In Middle English, the word eke meant also or in addition. So a secondary or unofficial name in the late Middle Ages was an eke name, also name. It eventually became a nickname. A nickname. Notch comes from the French word oche, an incision made to keep a record, but when the word migrated, the article an got in the mix, and anoche became a notch.
See?
I love it. I love it.
So, yeah,
thank you, Merriam-Webster. So
fun for y'all.
The word for apron is another one of those French to English things. The word for a cloth covering in Middle French was naparon, which came from nappe, meaning tablecloth. Naparon came into English in the 14th century, but referring to it in English as an apron led to some people spelling it as an apron instead. So it really is a naparon, but you can call it an apron.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love the language. Yeah.
Scooter X had the best question in the chat though.
What's that?
What are oranges called in Spain?
Naranja.
Aren't they
No,
naranja?
what color are they in Spain?
Oh, what color are they?
Oh,
Oh, that's good. I don't know. What color is the orange?
How would they describe it?
What is the Spanish color of orange?
No, it's the same. Naranja,
Naranja?
is the
Color
color.
is naranja as well as the fruit.
The citrus fruit is also naranja, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you, Google Translate.
My little fluent Spanish speaker running around who always makes fun of me. She's like, yo quiero queso.
Yo quiero queso. I want an ant pick. How about that? What's your pick of the
man.
weekend?
My pick, 16 weeks ago, however long it's been, when all of this shelter in place started, I said I wanted to just sort of chronicle how we're going about this from a production standpoint. So on Instagram, my Instagram account, ant_Pruitt, I started a highlight, and it's basically giving you a behind the scenes look of everything we've been dealing with from the very beginning. And I show you just
where'd you find
getting
all
ready
that?
for the show, getting ready for a guest appearance, setting up the studio. I mean, it's a lot of stuff in there. And then there's also a free phone wallpaper highlight right there available to people too. If you want some images for your phone as a wallpaper, you can just click there. But yeah, that's my pick. Follow me over there and check out that story. It's a lot of.
You're going to have to add my new mask fitters to your COVID-19 response.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, because I think that's. I think that's a big part of the story.
I said before the show, this is the mask for idiots.
I'm breathing on you. No, this is that 3D thing I designed, and it finally came.
Does it fit well?
Yeah, it fits my
Sure
face
looks like it.
perfectly, and it works quite well as a its job is to be a fitter. So you put it over cloth,
That looks sanitary.
and then it's a perfect seal.
That looks like it works.
Yeah, it's a little dusty in here.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have put that on my face.
Yeah,
but
right over
sure.
your mouth. I don't know where has that been, Leo?
Well, no, this has got a very clever little attachment to keep it off my mouth. Actually, see that? It's like little hand.
Oh,
But
you
where's the
stick
rag
it in the
been?
teeth.
Oh, the rag. Oh, this is what we clean up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I've been wearing a bandana around my neck when I go out.
Yeah.
And I just,
That's
you know,
good.
because like that way,
Even a
If I need
simple
to, I-
cloth masks.
I have a bunch of those too. But
If you could
People would
believe
just
that
do it.
discredited former doctor epidemiologist Fauci.
So there was in the 1918 in San Francisco there was a anti like 24,000 people belonged to an anti-mask group
Yes.
until people died. So no, Facebook didn't make us stupid. We were already
We
stupid.
are already stupid. Facebook just weaponized it.
all right,
No.
we gotta wrap this up so I can go listen to Hands on Wellness because I'm super excited.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's get a number of the week from Jeff Jarvis.
All right, I got two of them. So we got Quibi. This is your Schadenfreude moment.
Yeah.
signed up 910,000 users, and 72,000 stuck around. They lost 90%.
Oof.
Meanwhile, over at Disney, the company that can't apparently lose, even if it opens up its theme parks when it shouldn't, Hamilton resulted in a 641% increase.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised. But that's going to be the same problem at the end of the month because they paid $6.99 for the first month. But then will they pay $6.99?
Disney's probably not going to tout those numbers.
No, I'm surprised we have the Quibi numbers. Where did that come from? Probably not. Yeah, Sensor Tower.
Not from Quibi.
Not from Quibi. Yeah,
not
Sensor
Quibi.
Tower. Yeah. And I don't know exactly how Sensor Tower knows that stuff or how accurate those numbers are.
I'll bet, though.
It's time for Karsten's Mask of the Week. And actually, we have several of you. This is the Mask of the Future. It is a mask that can translate and transcribe for you.
What?
I don't think it's. I think it's a concept. This is from Design Boom.
I want one that has the LED lights that make your skin better, like while you sleep under them.
Yeah, this is made by a Japanese startup, the aptly named Donut Robotics. It can record conversations, transcribe them into text messages via Bluetooth, and translate Japanese into 8 languages: English, Chinese, French, Korean, Thai, Bahasa, Spanish, and Vietnamese. You can also use it to make calls and to amplify your voice. So it's like a little megaphone.
Asian nations say they made fun of us for our masks. Now you just watch what we're doing.
This is from a crowdfunding site, but John Jammer Beast, John Slanina brought this to my attention, and I have ordered this. This is from Kickstarter. It's UV Mask, a real-time UVC filtration.
Meet UV Mask.
Oh, shut up. UVC filtration and purification face mask. It has a battery in it and a USB charger. It has a UVC light in it. So air goes in the sterile vortex, is sanitized, and then passed back out. So it both protects the wearer and the people around them. It also has a replaceable air filter. And they have raised $1.3 million out of their $20,000
So you'll get it about 2 years after we have a vaccine.
Well, I know. But for the next one, I'll be ready. And the other thing they don't mention, I wonder how much this thing weighs.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty hefty.
It's gonna be hard to keep my head up. It's got dual filtration. They say 99.99% purified air. Is that wild or what? But that's not all. But wait, there's more, because Karsten also has... Oh, this is a mask you found, Jeff.
Yes, I did.
This is from an artist. It is that goes with the holy hand grenade. This is a liturgical mask made from recycled brass and other materials, ideal for large processions. So I imagine the bishop will get one of these for Father Robert. The bishop will.
Martin Percy, I think, is like the Bishop of Canterbury or something.
Oh, this is actually. He's actually going to wear it?
Well, he's a real priest.
He's a real bishop.
Is he an archbishop or a bishop?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I think only archbishops should be allowed to wear this mask.
It's a fancy mask.
He's the dean. No, I'm wrong. He's the dean of Christ Church, University of Oxford.
Oh,
I doubt. I had promoted him considerably. Well, it's still a big deal.
No, the dean of Christ Church is pretty good. So
isn't that a city?
No. Well, it might be.
Oxford is.
It's a college.
Well, I know, but it's also a city in New Zealand.
It is a city in New Zealand. You're right.
This is Oxford.
And you are so smart. So I'm going to give you.
Mississippi.
I'm going to give you two choices. Oxford is a city in Mississippi. That's correct. That's right. Yaknapatawpha County. One more. Can I do one or no? I'll do a simple one. I was going to do a serious one. This is a light one. This is a website called window singular -swap.com. And you just go to this site and you click the button and it'll give you a new live video out of Windows somewhere in the world. including.
Oh, can I submit one?
Yeah, including
that's
sound.
fun.
Yeah. So that's
everybody have their webcam.
that's in Dubai.
This.
Here's Israel. Isn't that?
This is taking me back to 1998.
That's India. Yeah.
Is it window? No, because
Window-swap.com.
Oh, okay.
That's Rochester, New York. I think these are actually clips.
Yeah.
I don't think they're live. That's a little disappointing because, look,
It does let you submit your
panning it
just
around.
panning and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. But I do love
that's pretty.
This is way. It's Germany.
It's a 10-minute horizontal HD video of your window and frame with your name and location
so
for
you
credits.
need to submit a 10-minute video. I do like the clouds moving. Germany is the cleanest of all the countries. This is Glasgow, Scotland, the greenest of all the countries. Here's Wales,
Scotland.
Wait. There was a palm tree in Wales?
Yeah, I thought that was odd, but maybe.
Someone's lying.
This is Hyderabad in India. I like this
That's
idea.
a beautiful composition.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know what? It's kind of a natural because if you're shooting through a window, you've kind of got this frame. So
framed.
Yeah. So it's kind of, this one is apparently on the guy's bed.
That was not so good.
Yeah. This is not,
This one, the composition is not
such
awesome.
a good
But that's
composition.
okay.
That was the Burt cam.
Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, these are not live. I thought they were live originally, but now that I look at them, I sense
You'd have your moment of Jenny
it's a
cam.
clip. Yeah, it's a little Jenny cam, isn't it? Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Stacey has to go and get well by watching.
I want to check out the show. I feel
Hands
so
on
sad that I didn't
wellness.
know it existed.
Well, it's
'Cause
brand
this is like
new.
in my wheelhouse.
But it's brand new. It's only, a couple of months old. So you haven't missed a lot.
Oh, look, you can almost see my plant there.
There's her plant.
Oh, there you go.
It's
I have 2
alive.
plants behind me.
7 out of 10.
7. What don't you like about
You got to
that?
balance the screen here.
I think that's pretty nice. He does have a thing for bookshelves, Mr. Rate My Skype Room. See, that's why I gave Jeff 10.
Is he verified?
That's the standard over there.
That's the standard right there. That's the gold
See, I feel
standard.
that that's pretty old school, though. I mean, like, I'm sorry, Jeff. It's not very modern. It's what I expect.
I'm getting some pineapples.
Older.
Pineapples
What I
would be nice.
expect of it.
Do you want real
You know
pineapples
the pineapple
or
thing?
brass pineapples?
So Steve Schmitt and John Heilemann have a Rate by Skype Room war going on,
Oh.
and they escalate.
Oh, that's
And they
hysterical.
live in beautiful places.
Oh, that's
And then they put the
hysterical.
fruit bowls behind them. So now you're at both Schmitt and Heilemann are at 3 pineapples each.
That explains a lot because I noticed Steve's room getting more and more ornate. And now, now I understand there's actually something going on. That's
And
hysterical.
Heilemann was in his kitchen for a long time.
Yes.
And then he went out to the living room. Then he went outside. By the way, Heilemann has 2 gigantic, amazing dogs that occasionally appear.
So this is Room Rater at Rate My Skype Room.
Stengels, that's another view of Stengels. It's very nice. Very nice.
That's a fancy New York apartment, I can tell. No pineapples, but
No
there
pineapples.
are fruit
Get 'em,
bowls.
get 'em.
There are
Keep
fruit
going to
bowls.
get some pineapples.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Color game is strong with this one. Frames too small. See this? I think this is like what they would say about Stacey.
It is.
Hey.
Tiny bookshelf. Nothing on the. Yeah, it's not balanced. Yeah, it's a 6 out of 10.
Hey! We love real brick, not faux
9
brick.
out of 10 there. But then look, notice that prominent plant and the balance.
Yeah, balance.
Yeah.
Right? The lamp and the plant balance each other.
Simple.
Here you got the
effective
frames and the mirror. Very
flowers,
nice.
mirrors
Very nice. 8 out of
divine.
10.
Oh, gotta love Tyra Banks. Yeah.
7 out of 10 though. They expected more of her.
Well, it's the chandelier that's really bringing it down. And what the hell is this thing? Is that a?
A lamp?
Looks
Distraction.
like a skidoo.
Yeah. I love Jason Johnson.
And he hasn't been on for a while. He just returned today, which is a great thing. Jason's
Good. He's
good.
wonderful.
So
yeah.
he's got as tight a frame as I do, and you
No,
can
I
only
think
see a
this
little
is
bit.
good. And the floating bookshelves, he got 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. What he does?
Stacey,
I
we're
feel
trying
like
to
I'm
help you
just
here.
as good
They don't
as-
We're
like
trying to
this
help
thing.
you, Stacey.
Yeah.
I I know.
You know, you gotta, take the help. 0 out of 10.
Priti Patel. No, sorry.
0.0.
0 point. What is that? An elevator you're sitting in front of? What the hell?
I know.
What is that?
This is nice. Charlie's got a good one there.
He's got a mantelpiece.
Oh,
Poodle.
it's very nice. The nice, yeah. This is good.
Picture of a
dog.
dog.
Helps.
Yeah.
The picture of your dog, Stacey, would help a lot.
There you go. You don't have to have a dog, just a picture of a dog.
Picture.
I like this one.
He only got 7 though.
Well, they don't like the light here coming.
The lighting.
Yeah. That's why we got to get Ant's. Oh, wait a minute, Ant, your lighting tips. Was that in the COVID-19 reg?
It's in
Wait,
there.
here's a 10 out of 10. Scroll down. I want to see this one.
Okay, 10 out of 10 for Victor Blackwell. I disagree. His head's cut off.
Well,
no, I agree.
You got to click on the actual picture, right?
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's quite
nice.
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 Framed banknotes, a little
Interesting
weird.
things framed, yeah. Wooden vase. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I'm going to miss this voyeurism when it's gone,
I know.
Oh, now this is interesting, doing the off-centered piece.
Yeah.
Beautiful chair,
That's
off-centered.
very 60 minutes.
That is courageous. It is indeed courageous. And Stacey, look at that nice big plant.
Yeah.
See what that does?
I'll buy a freaking plant.
You don't have to buy a plant.
I have limited funds after moving,
I
and you
think
want me
the
to go
Queen's-
buy like a fancy
The Queen
plant.
Zoom, she at least learned not to wear a green dress. That's a good start.
That's right. I forgot that.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, Rembrandt's birthday. I don't know what's going on there. So I don't know how we got down this rat hole, which we've gotten down many times before.
It's Jeff's
today and go down this rat hole. I'm so proud of myself.
You know why it's his favorite? Because he got 10 out of 10.
He got 10 out of 10. So he's proud of himself.
I believe it. Jeff is the quintessential professorial study. It makes sense.
Yep.
Oh,
my wife was very happy.
What you don't see is my amazing rug.
Yeah, we need to see your rug.
Put it on the wall, Stacey.
Oh.
Ooh, I like this. What the hell? There's a cattail.
Wow.
What the hell? Hard to take that seriously.
That is.
He pushes the cat down. That's hysterical. Oh my God. That was very. That's a cattail covering his face entirely. Perfectly positioned.
And that's a really nice cattail.
It's a nice cattail. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. It's
that's
a beauty.
Good cat right there.
And you could tell he's British and a little stiff, so the cattail really adds to it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, that
my
wraps.
money is on that the cat knows.
The cat. Cats always know. Cats always know. Mary Jo Fuddley finally had to banish her cat when she does Windows Weekly because Sriracha would actually come and unplug the computer. Like, I'm not having this. And she would, it was amazing. So she had to banish her. Yeah. All right, everybody. We've more than outworn our welcome, but I am so glad you decided to be here.
That's what we do. That's just what we do.
We never end a show till it's driven deep into the ground and there's a stake through its heart. Because why not? Thank you, Stacey Higginbotham. Are you going to be here next week?
Stacey,
I am.
Oh, good.
Possibly with the plant.
Now the gauntlet has been thrown down to Stacey. I predict.
I will say, y'all,
Next
last week you complained about my blinds. I fixed the blinds.
No. This is what I would do. Okay, just saying. A nice rubber plant in front of those blinds.
Yes, exactly.
Would be
That's all I'm
perfect.
asking for.
Would be perfect.
That's where my little shredder and Eero in recycling bin is.
You put a little shelf there. Put the plant on top.
Put a shelf in. Yeah.
Stacey, while we're at it,
don't listen to him.
I don't know if the paperclip is that gonna be permanent now?
No, I just go.
Don't listen to him.
Just go.
Stacey on IoT.com. That's the website. Sign up for the newsletter. Listen to her podcast. It's audio only, so you won't have to put up with this.
Sorry, but I enjoyed it too much, Stacey. I'm sorry.
that great show she does with Kevin Toffel. It's all at StaceyOnIoT.com. Thank you, Stacey. That bad boy is celebrating his birthday. Jeff Jarvis. He's got a giant taco
I got
cake.
a little license today, right? Actually, it's because I'm on a damn sugar high after I've eaten some of this stuff.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. That cake looked really good.
Hey,
who stole your? Somewhere your credit card is gone. Did I read your credits from? I don't know who the hell he is. He's a professor of, Tao Knight Professor of Journalism at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York. How's that? Close enough. He's a big shot there. He's also...
but I still can't tweet.
Buzzmachine.com, and he still can't tweet because he's a blue check. That's how important he is. Thank you so much for being here, Jeff. Happy birthday. I hope you do something fun.
Ugh.
I know. Anything with a 6 in front of it. There's only one thing worse. Something with a 7 in front of it.
So at that point, the 7, I say, I'm happy I made it.
Yeah.
The 6, I just say,
6,
what doesn't work?
We don't know. Yeah, we just don't know.
Wait, why aren't we making fun of... I mean, we've talked about how crisp and clear Ant is, but we are not mocking his lack of anything.
So there is only one thing I would say about Ant, which it does look like the camera and the light are aimed at your ear holes. So
this time that they are.
I maybe would go with something a little less aggressive.
Normally they're a little bit lower.
Yeah. That's okay. I like it. It's a beautiful picture. Honestly, you could take the cameras out. It would still be a great picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
the lighting is good.
Yeah, it's just
because your lighting is amazing.
Perfect lighting.
I'm just pointing out that
Nice try to deflect there, Stacey. Didn't work.
No, why is there a different standard for Ant?
Because Ant is the man.
Yeah,
I try.
Yeah, Stacey, sorry.
You're just
all right. So if I did nothing and had crisper lighting, would I be absolved?
Actually, yes. If you had perfect lighting and then the background was a little blurred out, it'd be perfect. Although I do think a plant would be nice in front of that.
I just poor Andrew's going to say you're going to buy a plant. Why?
Oh yeah, don't listen.
Because I can't just buy a plant. I have to buy a planter.
See, look at
plant.
Now I've humiliated Ant. He's moving. He's moving the camera.
Yeah,
I do love that light. What is the story with that light?
Leave the light. The light's good. The light's good.
The light looks like a production element.
No, the light. I'd keep the light in. It's just that adds a mystery to it. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Just trying to create
depth.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's good. Because the light's just a little out of focus. It's perfect.
It looks good. But you could use a
key
plant
light, a
sitting on whatever that thing is.
Another hair light over there.
And we'll be talking about this on Hands-On Photography every week. And, of course, Hands-On Wellness at twit.tv.
Yep, we're at Twig. We beat shows into the ground, into a bloody pulp.
We are never done until
Stacey's stomach is growling.
Finally says, I've had it with you guys. I'm out of here. We do Twig every Wednesday, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern, 20:30 UTC. If you want to watch this mess happen live, you can. Just go to twit.tv/live. That's the live stream. And actually, there's audio and video, so you could watch or listen. You can even do that with your Amazon Echo or other voice-enabled devices. Something like Echo Play Twit Live, I think would work. And then you would just get whatever's going on live. You can also say, Echo, play This Week in Google Podcast, and you get the latest episode. And what is that, Stacey?
I was going to say, then you can see the room that people are making fun of me for.
Which is gorgeous. It's a beautiful room. You're beautiful. I like the mix of horizontal stripes and diagonal stripes. It's a beautiful thing. I think the composition's stunning. Stunning.
Well, I just got a request to change my Twitter password.
Oh.
Take a look, Leo. I bet you did too.
You think the passwords are compromised?
No, but
from the
this
Twitter
is a good way
application. It's making them change it.
Oh, all right. Taylor Lorenz says, we're back. Sorry, everyone. Tom Warren says, verified Twitter users can now tweet again. Yeah, I'm not getting anything on my...
Oh, you're on the Twitter application, or you're on? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, that's the Twitter. That's the desktop. Let me see if I go on the app.
Tweet.
Oh, who cares? I don't care. I hate Twitter.
Right.
What am I going to celebrate this for?
Now it says something's wrong.
See what's live.
No, I can't
All
get
right,
on at all.
it's time to go.
No, I'm not going to tweet that. Okay. We're just jealous. That's all there is to it, Stacey. We're just sad, lonely old men who are jealous of your youth, your brains, and your good taste.
And your excellent taste. Yes.
Excellent taste.
Straight.
Damn straight. Remember, one thing, Stacey, never forget, the eyes of Texas are upon you. We do this show. I said all that stuff. If you don't want to be here live, go get the show on demand. We make it available at our website, twit.tv/twig. Best thing to do, subscribe in your favorite podcast application. And then you will get a copy of it every time it's done, whether you want to or not. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate your putting up with us. And we hope we'll see you next time on This Week in Google. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Jason Howell, host of All About Android, where each week I'm joined by Ron Richards, Florence Ion, and a rotating crew of Android journalists, developers, and enthusiasts, where we talk about the latest news, hardware, and apps for the Android faithful. You can subscribe by going to twit.tv/AAA or find the show in your podcatcher of choice. That's All About Android.